Hello everyone, how are we doing? It's a Friday evening. Well, it's a Friday late afternoon. Hope you're all well. Let's see who we've got in the chat. I've already said hello to Nye. Hello again, Nye. And Ms. Theosaurus, who will be your moderator for this evening. If you need her for anything, if there's any dodgy chat going on, then you can just at her in the chat and we shall deal with things directly. Who else have we got? We've got April. Hello, April. How are you? And Caramarinas. I really like saying your screen name, Caramarinas. It's got a nice flow to it. Thea needs a theme for her next sketchbook page. Okay, we'll get to that in just a wee second. Goodness me. Who else is in here? Hello, Patty. How are you doing? And there's Mary as well. Hi, Mary. Nice to see you too. It's a gem. It's a gem. Nice hair. Oh, thanks very much. We're a bit of a kind of cobbled together effort today for various reasons, but it looks acceptable, doesn't it? I think so. Oh, right. Okay. April's not here, everyone. Haven't seen her. No, she wasn't here. Yeah, I thought I would wear my offensive orange jumper just because we were talking about it in Wednesday's stream. I felt that it was appropriate to put it on. I was talking about the fact that it's available in different colours and I really want to get the teal one. And I was kind of in two minds about buying it in the smaller size. Um, and I tried this one on and I'm really glad I've ordered the smaller size. It's still sitting okay at the shoulders, but like at the bottom and the hem and the front's just hanging, you know, it's just baggy. So hopefully it's going to cut. It looks a really nice shade of teal in the pictures, but we all know that you never really know what it's like until it arrives. So we'll see how that goes. But I absolutely love these jumpers. They're so soft, and I really like the cuffs on them as well because the cuffs are like they've got a proper cuff, but they're like baggy. It's just nice. It's real nice. As per usual, let me know about sound, light. We should be okay. I haven't touched anything since Wednesday, which seems like a lifetime ago already. Don't know why. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, we're kind of on time almost, sort of. I'm usually in a wee bit earlier. I was supposed to have a really easy day today and it just didn't. It was just like Friday did not happen the way it's supposed to happen. So I've had to do a wee bit of running about, but I was kind of like hoping to like kick about for maybe 10-15 minutes before we actually started the stream, but alas. Hi Katara, Chaos Weaver, how are you? It's really nice to see you in a stream. I know that time zones are an issue for you, so I'm really glad that you could join us this fine evening here in a very foggy Scotland. Yep, it's I was actually filled with dismay this morning when I looked out my bedroom window and I couldn't see the end of the driveway. I was like, oh no, because normally when we get weather like this, it really screws up the internet connection and the internet speeds. And it hasn't abated all day. It's lifted a wee bit. I can now see the bull in the paddock directly behind the garden, which I couldn't this morning, but it hasn't changed much since then. So the word we would use for that is dreich. It's just a really grey, foggy, horrible, just typical Scottish weather. Any hopes of a summer are now completely and utterly gone. But still, Fridays at work, I spend the afternoon studying French, so I'll pretend Jem is speaking French. Bonjour, je m'appelle Jem. That's about the extent of my French. I'm terribly sorry about that, April. I could give you some Swedish. My Swedish is getting better. I can't give you any French. Usually Katara's at work, currently between calls. Oh, so you're not actually here. Everybody, like, haven't seen Katara either. Nope. Hello, Michelle. Nice to see you too. Sitting outside on my patio enjoying the weather here in Calgary. Well, you lucky son of a gun. None of that going on here. Top tier French. Oui. I did do like a tiny bit of French at school. I only did it for a year, and I've forgotten most of it. I do remember some phrases. Petit déjeuner is your breakfast. It's probably about it actually. Yeah. You only wanted to include the flag. That's okay. We're fine with emojis. April's corrected her spelling of tear. That's all right, I got you. It's fine. Okay, so the general idea this evening, as we've been talking about, we seem to have been talking about this for ages. I do have the Castle Arts Pasteltint pencils, so that is the set of 48, and we're going to swatch them out into my swatch book this evening. It's just a set of pencils I didn't really get round to using. Too many pencils. You all know the story. I'm sure some of you are exactly the same. The way that we're going to do this is questionable. This is not a tried and tested method for me, and I'll explain that as I go on. Depending on how we get on time-wise, how much talking I do and waving my hands about as opposed to actually swatching out the colours. Later on, if we've got time, I would like to take a look at some colour palettes. Again, I mentioned this in Wednesday's stream for those of you that weren't present or haven't watched the replay. I've been commissioned to do my local village's Christmas card. And I was kind of hoping to be able to pick out a couple of palettes so that I can give my customer the choice. And it's going to be quite challenging. We might not find anything at all. But what I did want to do was have a dig about. Oh, stretch up here. Jeez, oh. Is have a dig about in Sarah Renee Clark's colour cubes, and that would just be a nice way for us all to look at really pretty colours as well, because it's fun and it kind of sticks with the colour and the colour theory theme that we've got going on tonight for this stream. I don't have an end time for the stream. Normally, well, again, the plan was that Mr. Jem would be out at harvest, therefore the only stoppage I would have to make would be to feed the dogs later on. Obviously, because it's foggy and it's damp, Mr. Jem is not at harvest. So I'm kind of thinking like ballpark, maybe like sometime between 8 and 9, but we'll see how we go. Definitely no later than 9. I want to be finished for 9 and have a couple of hours of my evening left to spend with my husband, because I don't get to do that very often. Also, it's nearly Mr. Jem's birthday. So we figured we better take the time while we can, while the weather's crap, because normally at his birthday he is out in a tractor somewhere or a harvester or something. So anyway, not that I have to explain myself to you, but I like you to know these things just in case, you know. Whoa. April is starting October, full-time on French training for 7 months. Hello Terry, how are you doing from sunny Hawaii? Well, there's somebody that's got good weather. Nice to see you. Lovely to have you, Terry. Patty's had a wee bit of rain on and off. We've had way too much rain. It's been terrible, and the harvest season is not going well. I think Mr. Jem's starting to get a bit fidgety, but that's just part and parcel of it here, unfortunately. You just got to go with the flow. So we've managed so far. We've never had a failed crop yet, but we do spend a lot of time making sure that our crops are diversified, so we don't have you know, a monoculture. So at least if something, so for example, if the barley was to fail, you've still got wheat or something else, but that depends very much on the ground you've got as well. So, okay, let's talk about these Pasteltint pencils. We have used these, we used them for our Aqua Buddies, which, by the by, I printed off the first test sheet of stickers today, and Basil has turned out amazingly. Like, he's my favourite sticker. He's very aesthetically pleasing. But we did use these pencils for that. So the first things first, I don't think the pencils are in the tin in the order that they're supposed to be. I think I've like kind of mixed them round as I've been going. So that's the first thing. We do have on the lid here, they are in order in the Castle Arts manufacturing sense. And I think that the order is questionable, and again I'll explain that, but they have listed it by the colour code number, so it goes from 1 through to 48, which kind of makes sense. But in addition to that, I've got the colour palette. This is for all the Castle Arts pencils, obviously. But I've got the Pasteltint one here. So this is in the same order as what's on the tin, but I thought I could have that a wee bit handier so that you could see. So the questions I have, first of all, when I put pencils into a swatch book, I like to have them in what seems to be a sensible spectral order in my mind, which is white into yellow, into orange, into red, into pink, then to purple, blue, green, and then I'll go into like the browns, and then I'll have black, and then the greys, or greys then black, it doesn't really matter. Some of that doesn't apply obviously because this is a set of pastel pencils, but the order that they have them in is different to the way that I would do it. But the thing that stands out to me, that aside, that's just a preference thing. The thing that stands out to me is this Inca Gold seems to be in a really odd position, and I want to swatch that pencil out first on a scrap of paper before I do anything with it. But I feel like the Camellia and the Tickled Pink and the Jelly Bean, I don't feel like these should be down there. They've obviously lumped them in with the purples, and they might be slightly purplier when we actually like scribble them out. But I feel like I'm going to probably take the Jelly Bean and the Camellia, and I'm going to shove them up beside the Foxglove because that makes more sense to me. And also this peach rose colour and the winterberry, I think they might be quite greyish pencils, but I would want to put the peach rose up here if it's more white than grey. So there's a couple of pencils I want to scribble out first, and then I'm going to have to locate them in the tin and then put them into a sensible order for me in my actual swatch book. So we've got work to do tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Patty says a rainy day is a good excuse to work on my Lego R2D2. Oh, amazing. Love it. Absolutely love it. I was looking at Lego sets online because they brought out another couple of Animal Crossing ones, which is right up my street. They've also brought out the Zelda Lego as well, which I haven't decided whether I'm excited about or not, but I kind of am. But I have one of the modular buildings. I have the corner garage that I bought off of eBay, and it was boxed, and that's tucked in behind my living room door, and I was saving that for when the weather starts to get a bit crappy, and I'm spending more time inside anyway, so I really don't need to buy any more Lego because the corner garage is going to take me a substantial amount of time. Okay, so let me dig out first of all. The other thing to note about my particular set, and this is just mine, I have an upside down pencil. But when I say upside down, it's just been a manufacturing fault, I think, because if I take one of these other greens, you can see that here we've got the Castle Arts logo and the word Pasteltint, and it's got this silver band, and if you twist it round, it's got the colour name and the colour code on it. This one has the silver band at the sharpened end. Now these pencils come sharpened, so that was a bit of a boo-boo, but the colour name's still down at the other end, so I have no idea what went wrong there, but I quite like having a special pencil. I've got a couple of these. I've got a Polychromos like that, and I've got a Derwent pencil that's a wee bit wrong as well. And I don't know, I'm weirdly attached to them. I know it's a bit strange, but anyway, so we've got these two trays here, and here's the peach rose. So you can see, like, I think that looks quite grey, but it doesn't look grey on the swatches, and winterberry was the other one. So I think we can safely say that they might be grey. So we'll start with them. Put that back. Where did I get that from? Oh, stick it in here, just now, be fine. So I'm going to pop this just over a wee bit, trying to let you see everything. Yeah, so let's have a wee... Yeah, that's definitely grey. I mean, it's got a bit of a tint to it, but it's definitely grey. Yeah. And this is the peach rose. Oh, that's grey as well. Okay, right. So in terms of what's going on here, I feel like they're in the right place. So I'm happy with that. Pearl. Don't even know what that looks like. Carnation. This is pearl. See, this looks kind of purpley. Okay, I kind of want to put that in with the purple, so I'm going to put that to the side. Hello, Marilise. How are you? Oh, Marigold's rearranged her pastels as well. Just out of curiosity, when I was talking about the order there, how many of you go in the same order as me, and how many of you would go in a different order? Like, I just think it makes sense. But I know that some people would have like yellow into green, for example. Like, I'm quite curious about that, but in my mind, that, you know, what I said just then makes far more sense. Right, okay, the jelly bean. See, I'm looking in the pinky pinks for jelly bean. Yeah, look, this is pink. That's pink. What's it doing way down the bottom? Okay, right, so we're definitely moving the jelly bean. The camellia we've used before as well, it's really pink. So I feel like that should go up with the foxglove. The other one that I thought was questionable was the Inca Gold. So let me see if I can find that. Petunia Pink. They've got some really cute names as well. Okay, Inca Gold. Now this kind of might be a bit like, if any of you have got the Polychromo set, this might be a little bit like the green gold. But let's have a... it's definitely gold. Okay, a little bit undecided about that. So we're gonna have to work through that. Be okay. Miri goes rainbow from yellow. And Nigel's greys, just greys before black. Well, see, that's something I'm not that rigid on. There's usually only one or two black pencils in a set, so I'm not, I'm not absolutely rigid on that. But yeah. Yeah, so Miri goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. Okay, that's quite interesting. Terry does it the same way as me as well. And Miri's greys go before the black too. That's interesting. But again, that makes sense, doesn't it? It really does. Okay. That's very interesting to hear. Other hands for the same order. The other thing as well that I forgot to mention, I did sneak in a wee beer on Wednesday that I forgot about that I was drinking at lunchtime out in the sunshine, that big thing in the sky that we never see here. But the beers were actually for tonight. So I do have one fine bottle of Birra Moretti here, which I'm just going to pop open. And I figured, seeing as it was a Friday night, why not? I haven't, apart from the one on Wednesday, I really haven't been drinking beer at all because it's full of calories. But I figured once in a while, you've got to live a little bit, so why not? Okay, I don't mean this was going to come out completely wrong, Patty, but you saying that you don't really have an order, I would expect that statement to come from you. But I mean that in a totally good way. That's it. Yeah, that was never going to come out right, but I like that about it though. I would love to just have pencils everywhere, like stuck in pots, but I just can't. Like I just can't. I'm sorry, Patty, but it's yeah. I think I know you quite well by now. Right, okay, so if we take a look at my swatch book here, this is the book that I use all the time. And it's just a cheap sketchbook. And I had to throw away my old swatch book because the binding was coming away. But I kept a wee space for these pencils forever. Like I deliberately kept these 2 pages. I wanted to have quite a lot of space to actually scribble these out because they're quite pale. I want quite big swatches so that I can work away and get one really deep end, so that you can really, really see it. So my theory was there's 48 pencils in the set, so 24 each side. And then, oh, excuse me, a beer's gassy. So I can have 4 rows of 6 on one side and I can have 4 rows of 6 on the other. So just to give you an idea, that's what my swatches look like. I'm sure most of you have seen this before, but I like to have them fairly neat. I'm not, I don't draw like a grid in or anything. I just do like a top line and then use that as a guide and work my way down. And I have the colour names underneath. I never ever put colour codes in, because I would end up getting them mixed up between pencils. I find it much easier to associate a word with a colour than I do a number, which is weird because I work with numbers all the time, but maybe that's part of the problem actually now that I think about it. So that's kind of what we're going for. And you'll notice as well that my swatches go dark to light from left to right, and that's just because I'm left-handed. I just prefer to do it that way, and I've never done that on purpose. That's just the way I do it, and it's the same for all the pencils. So that is what we are going to do. Do you have a hidden camera here? I don't need one, Patty. I don't need one. Patty did buy a swatch book, but had to adapt it as I don't have or even know some of the brands. I had to act others. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I prefer just to do it my own. I'm a bit like that with I've started using GoodNotes on my iPad in a bid to try and consolidate my chronic list writing. And it's working quite well so far. But there's loads of templates that you can get for journals and planners and organisers, and I find that some of the stuff suited me really well, and there was a lot of pages that I just wouldn't use, and I prefer just to set things like that up myself. So I prefer blank stuff, and it's exactly the same in GoodNotes as well. So yeah. April uses a binder of swatch pages so you can move them around. I like that idea too. Hello, Susan. How are you? Good evening to you too, madame. Okay, I think I'm keeping up with the chat all right so far. So I've got a ballpoint and a pen here, and I don't know if you can see that. You can see there's very, very faint pencil lines there. So that's just giving me a rough guide to how big I can make each swatch so that the first row is even. And say after that, I just use that as a guide to, do the ones underneath. Nothing fancy going on here. So at the very, very top though, always have to put in the name of the pencil set and also how many are in it. And that's about as fancy as it gets. So if we start from the very beginning, I am looking for, so I think I have some sort of order, but it starts on this side, which is kind of weird. But I will keep an eye on this as I go along. So my first 6 colours, I think, now see I've got jasmine here as well. I've just spotted another one. Is jasmine green or is it yellow? It looks very yellow on the camera, but when I'm looking at this, it's like a chartreuse colour. We're talking about chartreuse on Wednesday as well. So I'm now going to have to dig that out because I don't trust the swatches. Yeah, there's jasmine there. That looks, I don't know. The pencil looks like a lemon yellow, but if you look at the core, it looks quite green. It's quite offensive. Oh no, that's green. Right, okay. Fine, fine, fine. Just checking. You can, if you've got an unfamiliar set of pencils, obviously you can just like swatch them all out on a scrap of paper before you do this. But I deliberately left it because I kind of wanted us to do this together, like a little bit of discovery. So yeah, we want to pick out our top row of colours. So that's going to be Orchid White. Put this here again for a wee second. Orchid White, Mimosa, Saffron. Yeah, these are kind of in order. Saffron. Now I've got Magnolia, Rosa and Almond Rose. So that's what we should have. The things like the peach cream and the carnation, I feel like they should maybe move up as well. Peach cream. I love that there's a pencil called Snow Waffle. That's amazing. Peach cream. That's kind of... It should definitely be before Foxglove. There's no doubt about that. Well, I'm actually feeling like I just need to, rather than move these ones, I just need to move these ones that way. I don't think any of these need to encroach on the top row though. So let's just make a start with that. I'll pop that to the side just now. Hi Liz, how you doing? Susan's been playing Hunt the Missing Wheelie Bin. Are wayward wheelie bins a problem for you, Susan? Terry uses a binder as well. I take it the binders are quite commonly used. I'm not really a fan of binders, but I just find them quite bulky. But I can see the appeal of them and I understand why people like to use them. Like, I do get it. Okay, so this is going to be quite uneventful because you're not really going to be able to see much here. So let's start with the Orchid White. So just to let you know, my pencil line's there. Like my guideline. I can see that. Oh, that's funny. I think as well because this is slightly off-white paper. Does it even look like I've put any pencil down? You should be able to see it this darker side, hopefully. Oh, that's quite funny. Gem's doing a stream where she's not actually doing anything. Oh. Okay. Okay, good. Orchid white. Then we've got mimosa. Ah, that's a bit better. You can see that one. So really, really nice big swatches. See, that's what I wanted for this with these pencils. Exciting times. I've got saffron. This is a really nice colour. I like this a lot. It's pretty. It's quite a versatile colour as well, I feel. Because um, it leans into the sort of creamy side of things, but it leans into oranges and yellows and peaches as well. You'd get away with using that in a peachy sense. Yeah, it's good. Bin men leaving bins outside the wrong house and person putting in the bins not paying attention. I mean, the big number may have been a clue. Have you got one of those big sticky numbers on the side of yours? So Terry makes a good point about the binders. You can take the page out and just have the page on your desk rather than a whole book, you know, like this or the whole binder. It's very practical. I like it a lot. And plus it's flat, so you can sit things on top of it and it's not necessarily going to be in the way. Right, so here's the point where I feel like I want to see where the peach cream's going to fit in. And the snow waffle. Peach cream and snow waffle. Now, where are they? Got peach cream here. See, now the peach cream. Snow waffle. That's definitely pink. So I feel like the snow waffle might be the first of the true pinks. I don't know if y'all can see that. Jock's asleep down on the floor next to me here, and his little flippers are going, he's dreaming. I think he might be chasing sheep. Yeah, so I would say that's quite a pale pink, but I would make that the first of the true pinks rather than these sort of peachy pinks. So this is like I'm starting to build up my own version of a palette here. So I'm just going to do this off to the side, but I'm going to have them like in an order, if that makes sense. What happened to me? Right, my peach cream, which was this one, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's okay. I would put that before that, before the snow waffle. I've got the carnation as well. Here is my carnation pencil. I've got foxglove, amaryllis. Right, there's carnation there. See, it's quite difficult with these. See these kind of duskier colours? I still feel like the carnation should be before the pinks. And then yeah, because I would classify these colours as like oranges. But you're kind of heading into pink there. Okay. So if I had that before the snow waffle, which I'm calling like a true pink, that kind of bridges the gap between the peachy colours and the pinky colours. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone. It makes sense in my mind. So the blushing rose, the amaryllis, and the foxglove, that's the sort of true pinks we were talking about. So they're going to go after snow waffle. And I'm also putting camellia in with that as well, which is one of the ones we put aside in jelly bean. Yep, so they're all going to go together. And I feel like the camellia then helps us head into the purples, which, as I said, makes much more sense in my mind. Right, okay, that's good. I don't know if y'all are going to keep up with me with this. Terry wants a job naming pencil colours. Yeah, Snow Waffle's a good one, isn't it? It's my favourite. That's one of the reasons why I really like Crayola pencils, because they've all got really, really good names. Okay, so the three that I've got now, which is the Magnolia, the Rosa, and the Almond Rose, I just want to see where we're going with this. Just very quickly to make sure they're going to be in an order. See, that one's quite orangey. Okay. Now, see, I would have this one before that one. So that's the order I want them in. Okay, so we're going Magnolia. I do find though, with pastel sets of pencils, the ones that spring to mind are the Holbein ones. There are quite a few colours that are very, very similar, and you think, they could probably have like smushed two of them together, and you know, just had one colour that would be in the middle that would do for everything. But hey. Who am I to judge? I don't make pencils for a living. I think it would be a really bad idea for me to make pencils. I would never sell any of them. It's bad enough having the polychromos sitting up there, you know, the open stock ones. I'm like, whoa, pencils. Thankfully, I've already got a set of those though. And then we've got the Rosa, which is going to be last in the queue here. Ooh. Okay, fairly happy with that as a first row. So then we just put the names down. This is the really boring bit. And then it was Mimosa, that's right. Saffron. The saffron really doesn't match. The casing really doesn't match the colour of the pencil. Like that's very, very yellow compared to, you can even see it with the core, like the core's quite orange. And this is why it's important to swatch your pencils out. And then we've got Magnolia. Almond Rose. And then that last one was Rosa, that's right. Rosa. So the other thing as well is I've just sat them up the top there. I will put them back in the tin in this order so that the order in the tin matches the swatch book. Obviously that makes a lot more sense. Things have to make sense, you know. Okay, so rather than going for this blushing rose, because this is the, you know, like it's heading into pinks, I'm going to stick with these colours apart from Snow Waffle. So we're going to peach cream next, hopefully. And we're going to look at the other colours that are coming the other side of that as well. So we've got carnation, carnation cream rose, I think these will be okay. So the next ones that are on the list here are Petunia Pink and Coral Blush, which is these two, and they do look quite orangey. So we might be heading in the right direction, but I've got to factor in the other ones as well. So yeah, okay, this. So we've got peach cream, which we've done, carnation, which we decided was a bit darker. That was kind of going to be the kind of transfer point, wasn't it? So we need to find cream rose and apricot twist, which is these two here. These look really brown. Okay, okay. So cream rose, yeah, that's brown. Yep, okay. So these two pencils specifically, I am going to shunt these down and I will put these in behind the greens. You know, as if I would green into brown in a normal set. So I'm just going to like chuck them out the way. I might even put the green gold colour, this Inca gold colour in beside it. I think that, again, that might be a nice bridge between the greens and these slightly more brownish colours. So we'll go with, yeah, Yeah, we'll go with the Petunia Pink, which isn't pink, it's orange. Then we'll go with the Coral Blush, and then I'm going to go to Peach Cream, and then Carnation, and then Snow Waffle, and into the pinks. Good grief. The next thing I want to look at is Candy Tuft. I think this is going to be a greenish colour as well. I don't know why they would call it Candy Tuft. Oh, see again, that just looks like an earth tone to me. With a hint of yellow. I'm gonna put that with the other ones, so I'm gonna put that over there. Don't want Candy Tuft either. Begonia, would I imagine, would be my first true green. Yeah, better. Jeez. Ah, jeez. Right, okay. Cool. So that's not really got me any further forward here, so I'm gonna go Petunia Pink. Coral Blush. Yeah, good grief. And then I'm gonna go into Peach Cream and Carnation. I said carnation, not tarnation. Um, and then we can go to Snow Waffle and Blushing Rose, and that'll take us into the pinks, and that gives us our next 6 colours. Yeah, April says the folks who did the Black Widow pencils must have had fun naming them. Yeah, absolutely. Jen really likes Crayola, but didn't want Thea to choose them for her to use. I don't mind Crayola pencils. I've done a couple of videos on them now. They wouldn't be my first choice, obviously, but, you know, the Holbeins are really expensive. YouTube having a laugh today. Had an advert before I joined and just in my second one already. Yeah, I keep getting a notification that pops up now saying that not all your viewers will get ads at the same time. And it's supposedly to maximize the revenue streams or whatever it is. Um, but yeah, I honestly, like, it's a complete mystery to me. I should probably know a little bit more about it, but they keep changing things. Like, I get an email every month from YouTube about all the different things that have changed in their policies, and it's impossible to keep up with it because they keep changing things. So I'm afraid I can't help you on the ad front. All I can tell you is that I've got the ads set to balanced, so you can have low numbers of ads, you can have balanced, or you can have high numbers of ads. If I put it to low, though, the revenue that the stream generates is practically nothing, like it's pennies, so that's not very useful for me, unfortunately. So apologies. Nice, had 3 so far. Oh no. Ah, geez, it's gonna be a long night now. It's gonna be a long, long night. And Terry said one, well, I've been talking about it. Well, I don't think that's too bad a thing. You don't miss much there, have you? Righty McCoho. So my line's not very straight. You can see my writing's gone down the way again, and not that bothered. We've only got 4 rows, so we're not going to be pushed for space, which is fine. But we'll get these on the go. So I'm interested to know, having a set of pastel pencils, for some people that will mix these colours or use them in conjunction with other pencils, which is something I wouldn't normally do. But with pastel pencils, if you just stick to the pastel pencils, your uses can be quite limited because obviously they're all very desaturated. You don't have a lot of contrast. So if you're using them for an entire picture, it's in your interests to like pull in other colours. I would be interested to hear if you've got a set of pastel pencils. Is there a particular theme or like a particular feel or even a particular colour palette that you would prefer to use pastel pencils for? Because when I think of pastel pencils, I always think of like floral things, like springtime scenes, very sort of delicate first, the first flourish of colour. And then I tend to think of summer as like more intense, bright colours. So if people do utilise pastel colours often, I would love to hear about it. Easter bunnies, that's their like Easter eggs, that's colours like pastel colours, that's what springs to mind for me. This is such a delicate colour. It's another one that you can't really see. Promise it's there. Susan doesn't mind if it benefits the cave. That's in reference to ads. Thanks, Susan. I appreciate that. I'll say, unfortunately, that's the way that we make money. So it is a necessary evil. Although I've said this frequently enough, I'm not really in it to make a huge profit. I just need enough so that the cave kind of runs itself, you know. So I'm not out of pocket paying for all the stuff that I need to pay for, like new microphones and websites and one thing and another. Okay, so this is the carnation colour. This is a really pretty colour. Like, I like this colour. I could have put this in with the browns, but I feel that it's got too much pink in it to warrant being in with the browns. It's a really pretty colour though. I always think that dusky pink's a really nice colour for bridesmaids' dresses. Don't ask me why, I don't know, but just I think it is. Right, hope you're paying attention. Snow waffle. We got the snow waffle. Trying to see if this is straight. I think I've kind of like sort of by accident straightened myself up a wee bit here. Happy accidents. Mary uses the pastels in with all the other stronger hues, don't tend to use them on their own, yeah. So, okay, yeah. And she mainly uses pastels for skin tones. Good shout. Good shout. Terry doesn't mind ads, usually let them play. That's good, thank you. Yeah, I've definitely gone up the way now. I'm gonna have quite a wonky set of swatches here, but that's okay. See, look how vibrant this colour is compared to the one next door. That's the blushing rose. This is quite a scratchy pencil. That's weird. Most of these pencils are really, really soft, but this one's just... Oh no, there we go. It's a bit better now. I maybe just had a little bit of an inconsistency in the core there. Like that first stroke was really like... But these pencils are lovely. I mean, I like the Castle Arts pencils anyway in terms of, like a sort of mid-budget pencil. I think they're great, and I really, really like the Castle Art Gold ones, which is the oil-based ones. They would be a preferred pencil if I couldn't stretch to like a set of polychromos. I would plump for them. I need an alternative name for this colour because it's really not pink. Like it's not even close to pink. Oh no, man down. Coral blush. What was that? Oh, it was one of the pink ones. Jock didn't even flinch and it landed right beside him. Camellia, just you stay where you are, Camellia. Sounds like I'm talking to a person. You, Camellia. A peach cream. I actually thought I'd spelled carnation wrong. Just that way my brain was going to be a bit faster than my hand there. And then we've got snow waffle. And blushing rose. They're quite pretty names though, aren't they? So far anyway. I think snow waffle's my favourite so far though. I've straightened that up a wee bit. Kind of rescued that there. Okay, but cookie. So I'm just going to go through these pinks now and make sure I've got them in an order that I want them in. But there are only 4 of them, so we're sliding into the purples as well. So that's where we're going to pull in this pearl colour and then the actual purples. But say we'll deal with the pinks first. So I'm thinking probably that way around. So that would be foxglove. Such a pretty colour as well. Very pretty pink. Then amaryllis. There isn't, I'm not even that fussy on what order they are in, as long as they're kind of grouped by colour. That's the jelly bean. See, that's got a kind of purplish tone to it. And then we've got the camellia. Okay, so instantly I want to put this one first because it's got a lot more orange in it. So Amaryllis, then the Foxglove. And I want to switch these two round as well because this has a more purplish tone to it and we're heading in the direction of purple. So that kind of makes sense in my mind as well. So when it comes to the purples then, with Jelly Bean. So Jelly Bean was kind of placed correctly here, sort of, in my opinion. But we're looking for some of these other colours now. So we've got Tickle Pink. So again, I'm looking for the more sort of pinky purples, so that sort of order. And then I just have to figure out where Pearl fits in this as well. So I'm thinking Tickle Pink would probably be, yeah, that's fairly sensible. Let's take a look at these other ones. Yeah, so that's more bluish. And this should be even more bluer. Bluer. Oh, don't run away. And then we see we've got this pearl colour as well. So I think that would probably go between these two, which is the Tickle Pink and then the Wisteria. Okay. Right, I feel like I'm getting somewhere now. Yes. Love it. Just keep my system going here so I don't get mixed up. Patty obviously mixes her pencils. Just 'cause she's a rebel. Mary would call the petunia pink tangerine. Yeah. Do you know what? I call it tangerine. It's a good shout. Tangerine. Okay. So off we go with our next straw. Fine and dandy. These are such pretty colours. I like them a lot. Again, pastels are not necessarily something I would gravitate towards. You know, I'm more of a kind of bluey greeny kind of gal. And I like moody colours. I like indigos and olive greens and so all that kind of good stuff. So not something I would naturally, and just because of the types of artwork that I tend to do, you know, animals and nature. So I'm usually earth tones and greens. That would be like the basis for, you know, if I had to build a limited palette, you know, the whole pastel thing may not really be a thing for me. But it doesn't mean that I don't think they're pretty, and it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate them. And this is kind of nice. Oh, got another scratchy bit again. My necklace is all wonky. Do you know I love this necklace, but see the minute you like turn or do anything, it doesn't sit well. And I don't understand why. Right, you're on necklace swatch now, Thea. You're gonna be telling me this every like 15 minutes or something, but it's when I start to turn and it kind of like walks its way around. I've had this for years as well. I really, really like it. Got it on holiday one year. I can't remember where I was though now that I think it was, I want to say Lanzarote. It might not have been Lanzarote. Was it in Madeira? No, I think it was Lanzarote. I don't know. I can't remember. There's a lot of cork products in Madeira. Mr. Jem bought cork stuff. He bought a cork belt and a cork hat when he was in Madeira. Mr. Jem's got a thing for like cowboy style outback, you know, kind of outdoorsy hats. And on account of having a bald head, he has to look after his head at all costs. It doesn't matter whether it's raining or it's sunny. So he's a big hat fan. Big hat fan. Here comes Tickle Pink. That's actually purple. Just saying. This is a really smooth pencil. Like the formula for this colour is obviously pretty good because that is, compared to some of the other colours that felt quite scratchy, that's, oh, it feels nice. I like it a lot. Thea didn't wear hats often enough this summer. Yeah, because you've had a really hot summer, haven't you, Thea? Not jealous at all. I know it was uncomfortably hot for you, though, I get that. And then we've got Pearl along at the end here. That's one of those names that works really well with a Scottish accent because we roll our R's a little bit. Oh, Pearl. Okay. And that's, I've only had a wee bit of beer, so I can't even blame it on the beer. Let's try and even this out. I can even it out with the writing, it'll be fine. Oh, look, I just destroyed another fine liner by using it on paint. Mary says in Yorkshire that'd be Pearl. Well, see, when I said that in my mind, I was thinking about Mr. James pronouncing it. It's really funny. This is why we had this debate when we got Pip. We were picking collie names, and most working dog names are one syllable, like short, sharp names. And the girls tend to have either what I call old lady names or they have names that are associated with nature. Like our last dog was called Mist. So Pip is obviously short for Philippa. But Mr. Jem really wanted to call her Fern. And I think Fern's a lovely name, but the way he pronounces Fern and the way I pronounce Fern are two very different words. And we did not want to confuse a puppy because when we got Pip, she was tiny. She was like 9 weeks when we got her. So we decided against Fern. So that name's kind of been vetoed permanently now. So if we get another female collie, I don't know what we're going to call it. Mary Fern. Exactly. Oh man, I see the trials and tribulations, honestly. It's funny. There's lots of nice names though. I'd really like to call a female dog Flo, as in short for Florence. I love the name Flo, and Mr. Jem doesn't like it, which upsets me a wee bit. So we actually don't have another name picked out simply because we don't need one right now. We had a couple of names picked out for Pip, none of which were Pip. But when we saw her, we were like, that she doesn't look like any of these names, and then we arrived at Pip. But if we get another dog, once Mr. Jock's not with us anymore, it's probably going to be another bitch. So we're gonna have to come up with some names. Jelly bean. And I don't want Jess. So many Jesses. Like we do not need a Jess. This is tickle pink, not tickled pink. Tickle pink. And then Pearl. Fernanda, and she was called Fern. Terry had a collie named Yip. Well, the other things, the other names that are quite common are beasties, Fly, Zip, and Midge. They're all really common, and well, Zip tends to be, that can be a boy or a girl, but the beastie names like Fly and Midge, that they tend to be female dogs, which I think's nice. Yeah, Thea. So Mr. Jem pronounces it Fern. Patty had look and shape, yeah. I'll say again, the boys, really common names in Scotland. Craig, which you might think is a bit odd, but Jock is the Scottish version of the name John. Ben, that's another really common one as well. The boys can get nature names too. Rock's a really common male dog name. Our old neighbours at the old place, their dog was called Rock, and Rock was like, he was so special, and it was really funny because I used to walk Rock for them when both of them were working, and I could shout for Rock and Jock would come as well because it's almost the same name. So I was like killing two birds with one stone, and I was getting recall for two dogs, so like two for the price of one. But Rock was a sweetheart. He was such a gentle-natured wee sausage. I just loved him. He was just such a good wee dog. He was one of my favourites that wasn't my own. Yeah, yeah, a much like well, I wouldn't say closed off and stretched. I would say that we would use a much sharper like it's a much harder sound, whereas the Yorkshire accent's much softer and rounder. Fern, fern. I love animals with people names. That's really funny because Mr. Jem has alternative names for everyone and everything. He does it all the time. He calls me Flappy. That's my pet name, Flappy. There's stories behind that. Um, but he has that for everybody. And he used to call Mist Jeff. Like he actually called her Jeff, and she answered to it. So there you go. She that's it. He would. I mean, Mist's a really pretty name for a dog, and he's like Jeff. Dog's like what? She'd come trotting over. Oh, just don't call a dog Gun or Dog. Well, it's fine because it's not shooting dogs for us. But yeah, there's times and places for that, isn't there? Or Thea meant in the sense of mouth movement. Yeah, this is very difficult. Thea lives in Austria, by the way, everyone, and speaks German, so we're okay. Yep. April's like, yes, Jeff. Or Jeff with a G. Ah, either would do. Either would be fine. It's funny though because with Jock, he's never really. We call him like see when we shout him in the house, we just call him the boy because he's always been the only male dog. So if I'm shouting him, I'll shout this boy, and he's like, "Oh, that's me," and off he toddles. But I think because well, Jock's a nickname already, it's a shortened name. Sometimes we call him Jockey Mo. Um, yeah, but it's funny how. But yeah, Mr. James got names for everyone. The landowner that owns the land. Mr. Jem calls him Jemima for no apparent reason, but that's he calls him Jemima. It's ridiculous. Yes, 1,000 different names for your pets. Yes, we do. We do. The example of that I always give is when we still had the Jack Russell. Her name was Tilly, and we went through a phase of calling her Tilly Willy Woo Woo, and then that got shortened to Tilly Willy Woo, and then it went to Willy Woo, and then it just got shortened to Woo, and that's what we called her, and that's what she was registered at the vets as. Her name was just Woo, but we used to call her like Willy Diddler. Yeah, we have a myriad of names for the dogs. Oh, Patty keeps calling Evie by Katie. Oh, you do get shortened forms. I mean, like with Pip's name, you don't get much shorter than Pip, but we call her Pipistrami, or Stramarama, or Strams, or Beeper. That's the other one because she's always in the way, so we're always saying beep beep, and that was beep beep peep peep, which just got shortened to beep. So sometimes we call her Beeper now. Um, see when I say all this out loud, it sounds ridiculous. Like all these names for the dogs. Jock's still not bothered by any of this, by the way. Just chilling out over there. Okay, so we've got these purples now. So we've got Wisteria, and then we've got. Oh no, wait a minute. Wisteria, yeah. Heather. Wisteria, Heather, and whatever this one is, Hydrangea. And Hydrangea is really us heading into the blues, which is what we like. So if we look down here, there's our Hydrangea colour. So Blue Daisy, Blue Mist would be, and Bluebell. Blue Daisy and Blue Mist, let's grab those first. Blue Daisy, Blue Mist, yeah. Let's see what they look like. Yeah. Blue Daisy, Blue Mist. So that gives us 5 pencils. And then we're kind of heading into the more true blues, maybe. So what have we got here? Bluebell and sorry, you're just out of shot. I need to shunt myself this way a wee bit. That's better. Lobelia and Bluebell. And again, the casings are kind of throwing me off here because they look really, really turquoisey. So let's see Lobelia. Oh, that is turquoisey. Well, okay then. Oh, this one's not so much. Okay, so Bluebell and then Lobelia goes into the turquoisey colours. The other one that's here that I just want to have a quick look at is Periwinkle. Yeah, that's going into turquoisey colours too. Okay, cool. So last row on this page then. I feel bad for this little pencil here. This was just sharpening problems. It wasn't that I've used the hell out of it. And it's a nice colour. Again, it's more on that sort of delicate side, which I really like. But I'm not going to get much in the way of mileage out of this now, which is a shame. Again, these aren't available open stock, so, you know. April's puppy's called Bug. Nero is Thea's cat, just in case anyone's wondering. Tiger, tiger baby, baby bear, tiger bear. All in German, obviously. And a lot more stuff that wouldn't translate well into English. Mickey, that's a good name. I like that too. Again, Mick's quite a common name for male working dogs, and that's short for Michael. So like the boys do get some proper names. Proper names. I like proper names. It's like my like I give all my cows old lady names like Doris and Francine and stuff. Like I feel there's just like a set of fitting names um for certain things. Some of them do get silly names though, but I had a Barbara before as well. A Barbara. Barbara was lovely. Hey Ulrika, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, we're talking about ridiculous names that you call your pets that aren't their actual names. And I was just talking about Woo and how her name's actually Tilly, but nobody ever called her that. My favourite was Willie Diddler though. Like, come on, Willie Diddler. She's just like toddling along beside you. I still miss her. She was a good wee girl. Would never have another Jack Russell though. No chance. We had 1 in a million with her. The best of it was because she came with Mr. Jem. Mr. Jem had her since she was a puppy. Um, and when he told me he had a dog and that was a Jack Russell, I was kind of like, right, okay. And then I met her and I was like, oh my god, she's adorable. And then her and I became really good friends. She was a really friendly dog. She's the kind of dog that I could send away with any of you guys. Like, see if I met you in person, I could just say, right, on you go with such, and she'd just be like, okay, and she would just toddle away with you, quite the thing. She was that dog. We were at a local agricultural show one year, and we got talking to a few people there that because again, unsurprisingly, we'd just moved, but we knew a handful of people, and we ended up getting invited to sit with like the family of whoever it was we were talking to, and they had they had a nephew with them. And the nephew was really upset because he really wanted to enter a dog into the dog show, and we gave him Woo to go into this dog show, and it was for kids. And she just went with him and toddled round the ring. It was really funny. But that's just the dog that she was. She was amazing. She was a great wee dog. Okay. Here we go. Wisteria. And then we were Heather. Hydrangea. I like that colour as well. Blue Daisy. Blue Mist. Bluebell. I knew it was blue something. Too many blues. Bluebell. Okay. Nicely done. Okay, so I can take out... I'm just trying to not create a complete range of chaos here. So I've now got an empty tray and I can start putting these in the order. So obviously these are the ones that we've swatched out already. We'll get in with those. Cannelloni. Oh. An apple and blackberry crumble. That sounds really nice, Ulrika. Hi, Dalek Widow. Have you tried refreshing the stream? I'm just looking at my my dropped frames. I haven't dropped a single frame since we've started, so I think that must be a you problem, not a me problem, which is unusual. Let's face it. But yeah, if you want to try refreshing your browser, that might help. You left and came back. It brings a whole new slant to hello Cheerio. Well, that would be Cheerio hello, wouldn't it? Okay. See, they look, apart from the carnation, they look nice in that order as well. My little short pencil, look, it's so sad. So sad. Oh, get it there. Right, there you go. So that will be my top tray once we put everything back together. I'm going to shove that all the way out the way. All the way out the way. And finally, little mixed kebab who looks like a selection of the above cats of mixed kebab. Oh, nice, having sound problems as well. Oh, geez, guys. I thought we were doing quite well. I am slightly concerned about the connection. Obviously, it's a Friday night. We have a limited bandwidth, and the surrounding people will soon start to chew that up after about 7 o'clock. So you guys are pretty good at keeping me posted on what's happening and how we're doing. So please continue to do that. If it gets unbearable, then we might have to abandon ship, but we shall see. Okay, so into the kind of the more turquoisey colours now, of which there are a few. What is this pencil? Larkspur. Oh, now that looks like my kind of colour. It's kind of exciting. Yeah, we decided that these two were going to be next, which is the lobelia and the periwinkle, because they were quite turquoisey. But we've also got delphinium and blue poppy. These look really good as well. Doc. Thank you. Having a good chew at himself there. We found out Jock's got really itchy skin. He's got tablets that he takes. We find a lot of the time though that the actual scratching or the chewing as he does is habitual rather than he's actually itchy. You kind of don't want to give him into trouble, but you kind of do at the same time. Larkspur. Oh, right, okay. Well, I think that should go in first after Bluebell. So Larkspur, then, yeah, okay. Okay, getting there. Blue poppy. And the delphinium really is starting to head into the more the turquoisey greens, but that's kind of what we wanted. I'm just making sure that I've not missed any here. Periwinkle we've got, haven't we? Yes, okay. 1, 2, that's 5 pencils. And then probably, if we come up here, jade. Yes, that's going to go in there. Okay, good. This is starting to come together nicely. I'm just going to measure out these little sections again, the same as I did on this page. I do want to also. Would you say these colours are still pastels? Hydrangea, questionable. questionable. But other than that, I would say, well, yeah, pretty much. Because, well, is a pastel colour not defined as a desaturated version of a colour? Is that can anyone give me the definition of pastel? I would love to hear it if there actually is one. But that would be my definition of it. I think you've got a lot of wiggle room, but I also think as well you need to use some creative license when you're trying to put together a set of 48 pencils. Questionable pastels. Yeah, well, I mean, come on, that one's tangerine. It's not pink. Definitely a questionable pastel. But yeah, well, even the hydrangea to a degree, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know these things. Come on, guys. What's the definition of pastel? So about there, and then about there. Now there you go. There's something that I use all the time, and that's something I never ever thought I would use. This artful ruler, and I really like the size of it. It's a 20 centimetre ruler. That's a really odd size in the UK. We normally have 15 centimetre rulers. So like this one here. That would be a small ruler that you would carry about in your pencil case. Or we have a 30 centimetre ruler like this, which can be a bit of a monster. See, to have something in between, it's really good and I use it all the time. I hardly ever use a 15 centimetre ruler. And obviously use this for like A4 pages, but this is great. And I do use this a lot and I'm glad I've got it. Oh god, okay, we're getting the Wikipedia definition right, let's hear this. Pastels or pastel colours belong to a pale family of colours which, when described in the HSV colour space, have high value and low saturation. Okay, so I was kind of right then. But that's no, if someone says pastel to me, that's what I think. I think of a very desaturated colour. So yeah, okay. Again, so I would say on that basis that hydrangea, uh, questionable, definitely questionable. So what's your favourite pastel colour then, guys? And what's your favourite thing to do with said favourite colour? Go in the chat. Let me hear it. Dalek Widow has this ruler. Literally used it earlier today. Good, isn't it? Like it. Right, off we go again. Do. That's a really big swatch. Well, okay then. I think I might have to calm myself down a wee bit here. I really like this colour as well. Oh yeah. I wouldn't classify this as a pastel colour personally. I'm just here to do the doing though. I really like that colour though. That's a wee gem favourite right there. Lobelia. Look how bright that is. That's not desaturated, is it? And Mary's a lilac kind of pastel fan, so pale purples. Yeah, a very classic pastel, not questionable. And what's your favourite way to utilise that, Mary? I'm assuming you don't draw your scary trees in lilac. Or maybe you do. Who knows? Maybe you should. Don't know where I was going there. Like, oh. Team purple for Mary, right? Yeah, I do know that Thea's favourite colour is purple. I know this. I know this. Do you know what occurred to me the other day? Absolutely terrible at this. Julia of Miss Julia K Art Studios. I don't know what her favourite colour is, and you know I consider her to be my friend. Don't actually know what her favourite colour is. I think she likes. Well, I know she likes purple, but I don't know if that's her favourite colour. I'm gonna have to find that out. I'm just starting to learn colours in Swedish, so that would be a good idea to find out. The Swedish isn't going well, by the way. I've got a bump there. I think it's just because on the other side is gouache. So I'm gonna get a little lump there. Yeah, Swedish is, oh wow. Some stuff is really easy, like ridiculously easy, and there's a lot of words that are the same in Broad Scots as they are in Swedish. But see the vowels, oh my word. That struggling with that a little bit, but we'll get there. I would like to be able to be conversationally Swedish by sort of early next year. That's kind of my plan. Maybe not completely fluent, but be able to have a chat with someone, seeing as it's what I seem to do a lot of the time. And here we've got the jade pencil, but it's got a lot of work ahead of me. A lot of work ahead. There are words that I just can't, like, I flat out can't pronounce. And I consider myself reasonably good with language and stuff like that, but there's just some words that I can't get my head round and I can't get my tongue round either. In shadows and skin tones usually, and definitely no murder trees. Oh, well, I think you should try and do a lilac murder tree just to see how it goes. April's team green. Woo! April, you're with me. Terry's also with me too. April, thank God I'm surrounded by French. It helps the learning. Thea's asked if I'm using a language learning app. I got a year of Babbel free. So I'm using that not every day, but I'm using that because I find that there's quite a lot in it and you have to really concentrate. I use the free version of Duolingo just to do like a wee bit every day because I can do that in tiny little snippets. And obviously I speak to Julia as well, so Julia corrects me. I'm getting to the stage though where I can, like, if Julia and I are texting, there are some things I can respond to in Swedish. Obviously, the subject of the conversation is very limited in that sense, but there's things where if I message her back, I'm like, oh, I could answer her in Swedish, which is really nice. Like, it's a nice feeling. So I'm kind of taking a very sort of holistic approach to this. But I do send Julia about 14 messages a day being like, how do you spell this? How do you say this? What's the rule for this? And if there's one thing I've learned about Swedish is there are no grammatical rules and it's driving me crazy. Things just are the way they are because that's the way they are. And then the Swedes sometimes just change things because they feel like it. And if they're speaking a full sentence, they run words together and they drop consonants. So, as someone learning and listening, sometimes you can't separate the words to figure out what it is that's being said because it's not there. Uh, doing really well. Nye's asking, does anyone else have phases of favourite colours? As in, I'll choose greens for almost everything for some time, but a few years later we'll pick blues. That's a really interesting question. Does anyone have like colour trends that they go through? Thea's like, yeah, every day. April. That's got to be the chat comment of the evening. April, I remember years ago I was reading a young adult book in French and thought I was getting it all. Then a character had herpes and I realised I missed a lot. Oh my word. That's hilarious. Oh my goodness. So I take it that came as quite a surprise to you then, April. Oh jeez. Oh, moving swiftly on. Oh, that's tickled me, that really has. Oh, jeez. Well, it's interesting because one thing Julia said to me um, was to watch films that I've seen, films that I'm very familiar with. And she said, watch them dubbed in Swedish but with English subtitles. and then you know after you get a bit further on, watch it in dubbed Swedish without the subtitles, so you know the plot, you know what's going on, and chances are you're going to know some of the dialogue as well if it's one of your favorite films. And she said that's a really good way to learn because the way, I mean, Julia's English is perfect. It is like there's a very very rare occasion where she has to ask me what the word is for something, or her grammar's slightly off, like it's almost non-existent, and she perfected most of her English by watching TV. But in Sweden, they get a lot of stuff from BBC, which is obviously UK TV. So she watches a lot of English speaking, but also English accent programs. Um, and she said, yeah, that's how I like rounded off my English. I was like, okay. So I thought that was a really good idea though. If you're learning a language, once you've kind of got a grasp of the basics and you've built your vocabulary a wee bit, go and watch stuff or read books that you've read in your like native language, because you know the plot, you know what's going on. Really good way to learn languages. I like it a lot. My my Italian grandmother, she used to watch game shows. So there was a game show in the UK in the 80s called Blockbusters, and basically it's like all like hexagonal tiles on a grid, and you had to like work your way from one end of the board to the other, and there was letters behind them, and things like Wheel of Fortune was another one that she watched, and that's how she learned a lot of English as well, which I thought was quite interesting. Blue Poppy. Delphinium. It was very much a surprise, April. Yeah, films, TV shows, great for learning. Mary says all my Scandinavian friends have brilliant English from watching British TV. Yeah, that is it's a very much a thing over there. It really is. Katara makes a good point as well. She was first learning English. Commercials were awesome for it because they show you what they're talking about, like infomercials. So I was pondering this, and I was like, well, what's something? I'm not a person that rereads books. I just like to read a book once. There's only two books that I've ever read more than once in my life, and one's Lord of the Rings. Um, but I will rewatch films, and there's a couple of TV series as well. Someone was talking about, I think that was in the Discord, about comfort things that they watch, and if they fall asleep, think it was Jan actually, and if you fall asleep, it doesn't matter because you know what's happening. So I think based on that, the first thing that I would like to watch in Swedish is that 70s show and Fight Club of all things. But I've seen Fight Club like 1,000 times. Also, any of the Quentin Tarantino films as well. Um, so I think that might be my first port of call in Swedish. The problem in Canada is that you learn Canadian French, but all the teachers are from France, French countries, so there are big differences. Yeah, there will be. Terry's daughter improved her Japanese watching anime. Yep. When Thea started playing World of Warcraft, played the German version till they've had enough of them changing all the names from the original to a German version. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. I thought it was a really good suggestion from Julia. So I am going to do that. Maybe not yet, because I mean I've really only been learning Swedish properly for like a month. I have got a long way to go, but there will come a time, maybe by Christmas. Okay, so now pencil wise, we're getting into these kind of colours. So let's check these out. So our last colour was the jade pencil, which I'm just going to pop here so that we can figure out what order we want things in. Um, Stop rolling about. I think the minty ones might have to. Oh, wow. Okay. Pretty. That's more muted. Right, those two definitely go together. So I think, yeah. Pretty, a green flower, Angelica, bayberry. So let's see how this matches up here. Sort of does, but doesn't. And then we've got jasmine here, and lime, oh, juniper lime. Where does that come in? Oh, it's the way up there. Oh, okay. Now we're just in a sea of greens here now. That's quite offensive. I'm deliberately picking out the offensive offensive ones and set them to the side. Because this is quite muted. Begonia, let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's really yellow. Okay. Sunflower looks really yellow as well. Cowslip. Daylily and Savannah. Yeah, so Savannah needs to come up here. Ah, that's bayberry. So, okay, so they kind of go together, sort of. Bayberry, Savannah. I'm just coming back here. So I've got bayberry and Savannah. So you can see why they make sense being next to each other just from here. But I don't really know where I want to go from there. This juniper... the juniper lime's kind of olivey. These are kind of olivey as well though. Okay, so maybe they all need to go together. So that's going to take us into our browns. I just don't know where to go from Savannah is the problem. I think maybe Daylily. Yeah, let's go with... See, I kind of half want to stick the offensive ones in the middle of all this as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to rethink this. Let me get a inside. Right, so I'm definitely going very do. Look at that. That's definitely not a pastel colour. I don't care what anybody says. And then we've got green flower. And then we've got Angelica. See, I almost feel like maybe we should shove. Because we've got lime coral and jasmine. I just don't know where these belong, honestly. It's not next to those though. There's Angelica. Bayberry and Savannah. So I think maybe Savannah and then lime coral. And then we can stick the jasmine in. And that'll lead us into like the yellowish greens. Maybe? Okay, yeah, right, let's try that. Oh, we're talking about books now, yay! The only books that Katara will reread is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the original version, very nice. It's like, you know, the only problem with this when you just don't remember movies you've watched. I've got a friend like that. For me, it depends very much on what I'm watching, honestly, because Mr. Jem watches a lot of stuff and I'm only like half paying attention to it. Miri's read favourite books half a dozen times and always finds new inspiration from them. Yeah, I just don't get that from books. April, I've just seen your comment about taking French since you were 8. That's hilarious. Ah. If you can read books over and over and not remember them either, oh dear. Patty was binging CSI, fell asleep halfway through one episode, woke up halfway through another, was a little confused. Yep, that'll happen. Sometimes I find they've been visited by the sock fairy. But books you like as a kid don't always hold up. Yeah, that's true. Oh, Thea hasn't found a book she likes in years. Oh, well, we will have to find you a book. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Yeah, I've read that. Good Omens. Yep, that's a good book as well. He's got four different copies of Good Omens. I've got three copies of Lord of the Rings. Carabarinus is back. Hello again. Welcome back. Terry Pratchett, Neil Gaiman are two of your favourite authors ever. I want sentient pair with luggage. The luggage, yes. I've still got a couple of the Discworld books that I've not read. I think it's only like the last three. I've got them all, I just haven't read them. But I went through a phase of like reading too many of them, and I was trying to sort of diversify my reading a little bit. I can honestly say though, since the events at the tail end of last year, I only read at night before I go to sleep, and I have been too goddamn tired. And I mean, I've picked up a book. I'm reading the Pickwick Papers by Charles Dickens just now. It's quite a big book, and if any of you have read a lot of Dickens, you'll know it's slow going. But I like Pickwick Papers because it's almost like short stories. But I mean, I can count the number of times on one hand I've picked that book up since the beginning of the year. So my reading's slowed right down just now. He has never been able to get through Lord of the Rings. Hi Elise, how you doing? Nice to see you. No, it's yeah, seven. No, I'm going to be live for at least another hour, probably longer at least. So yes, come and join us. The water's lovely. Katara's best friend was obsessed with Lord of the Rings in high school. She reread the books and pulled awards on Elvish. Oh, wow. Ulrika's reading The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I have not heard of this, Ulrika. I will have to look that up. Thea was the person obsessed with Harry Potter. I was too old for Harry Potter. Wasn't a thing for me. April, it's 2 p.m. here. I might be having a beer. Well, I've just finished this one, and it just so happens that I've got a spare one. So I'm gonna get the rest of these swatched out. I didn't really. Time flies when you're having fun. It's 7 o'clock. Yeah, I'm gonna get the rest of these swatched out. When we're finished swatching, I'm gonna take a wee break, and then we'll change over to our other subject matter. That seems like a good place to stop. I don't have to worry about the dogs or anything because Mr. Jem is in the house. It's a space opera, 4 books and says, okay, that might not be my thing. No longer though. Thank you, JK. Insert curse words, Rowling. Oh, let's not talk about her. I don't tend to hold a lot of anger over people, especially people in the spotlight, because I think there's varying degrees of things, but I just can't with that woman. And do you know what upsets me even more is she's Scottish. It's like we don't want her. We don't want her. She's just an absolutely horrid human being. Anyway, I don't want to go into. I don't want to have. I'm enjoying myself. I don't want to get mad. Let's not go there. Don't want an angry Gem. It's not a good look. Green flower. Do 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 do. Katara was obsessed with Harry Potter until JK started talking too much. Yeah. Yeah. So I was just about to say Fire of a Thousand Suns. Ah, yes, very. I love how you're all like, you all are good readers. I tell you what, though, has anybody had a book that they've read on a recommendation and got to the end and just gone, I don't know what I just read? It's happened to me twice, and one of them was Slaughterhouse 5, and this is like such a revered book, and I got to the end and I was like, what the hell did I just read? Um, I've read Kurt Vonnegut's other stuff though. That's the thing about Sea Slaughterhouse 5. I was like, what is this? It did not resonate with me at all in any way, shape, or form. The other book that happened to me with, which to be fair, I kind of expected it in a sense, and it was White Teeth by Zadie Smith, and it's about black culture and that kind of thing. So I can understand that not resonating with me a bit more as a white woman. Um, but I was kind of hoping to get something from it, and I just really didn't. And I was like, okay, it didn't really do anything for me. Um, but I'm always quite curious, and I think people, I see it a lot. If any of you are on Reddit, if you join any of the reading subs on Reddit, oh, there's so many book snobs. Oh my god, and they're like, "Ooh, this book, this," and I'm like, it's like art. It's subjective, and I don't like people putting people into a box because they read a certain type of book. Like, I hate that. And it's like, do you know what? See, if you read Harry Potter, if you're hardcore Harry Potter and that's what you like to read, that doesn't make you any less clever or intelligent or enlightened than someone that reads Slaughterhouse-Five. Like, I'm sorry, I hate that. I hate people that gatekeep book snobberiness. Like, please don't do it. Um, so yeah, I tend to steer clear of all the book subreddits. It's one of the least friendly places on Reddit, and I quite like being on Reddit. I like using Reddit, but yeah, no book subs, mate. Handmade. Mary, I hate that book. Wait a minute, I've missed a bit here. Ah. Patty says, as far as I'm concerned, Harry Potter was produced by magic and doesn't have an author. Ah. Atlas. I've read that. I think I've read that, April. Now, just, yeah. Patty says no, but movies, and I was like, what the heck did I just watch? Yep. Handmaid's Tale. Okay. I haven't read anything by Colleen Hoover. I've heard lots about it though. April loved The Handmaid's Tale as a book. The show was too much though. Stephen King's Gunslinger, such a good book. Yeah. I love, Elise, I love the Dark Tower series. I read the Dark Tower series before I read The Stand, and I think if I'd read The Stand first, it would be my favourite. But I really enjoyed the Dark Tower books. Okay, so Thea, enlighten me on the Colleen Hoover situation then. Mary says Slaughterhouse-Five is utter crap. Thank you, it's not just me. Atlas shrugged his pretentious toss. Yeah, I think that's one of those ones where I just sort of like put it in the discard pile. Like I read it, I can't start a book and not finish it, even if it's absolute balls. But I think I just kind of erased that from my memory. Dalek Widow regretted reading the Da Vinci Code on someone's recommendation, but your dad ended up being extra in the movie version, so I'm conflicted. Okay, well, I thought they were readable. I wouldn't have said it was groundbreaking writing, but it was enjoyable enough to read. Oh, April, highly recommend. But you've got to be in for the journey. It's a long slog, but it's worth it. She got famous via TikTok, basically. Uh, I personally, and I'm a harsh critic, thinks that she sucks balls. She has a following that's insane. Yeah, I've heard that she's got quite a sort of like culty following. Marilise likes fantasy like Brandon Sanderson. I've met Brandon Sanderson. He's absolutely lovely. Do you listen to the podcast that he used to do? I don't know if he's still doing it or not. I really like Brandon Sanderson. My mum likes Why can I not say his name? Brandon Sanderson books as well. She's basically a poor woman's Jackie Collins type, right? Okay. The Da Vinci Code ripped off another book. Well, there's a lot of that goes on. I kind of feel that way about Harry Potter. Just saying. There's nothing wrong with a rip off as long as it's a good rip off. I think I better stop talking about this now. gonna, gonna end up getting absolutely annihilated via my own chat. It's nice though that we can have these conversations. Everyone's got different opinions. I just hate people that have a snobbery attached to what they read and they judge someone by what they read. Like just because I think the Harry Potter books are very poorly written and that they've been ripped off from other books, I would never judge someone because they like to read Harry Potter books. It's just not for me. Bayberry. Lime coral. That's a bit of an odd name choice, isn't it? Is it just me? Right, again, I'm going to start putting these into the tray just because the tray is now empty. My desk must be slightly off angle because these pencils are rolling about like crazy. Um, because because Jock started sleeping like under there again. Um, for those of you that have had collies, Patty, you'll know this as well. Collies don't just lie down; they dramatically like chuck themselves down, and it stems from them dropping when they're herding sheep. So when Jock does it, he knocks the desks because I've got three desks that are kind of joined together in like a U shape here, and I think he's knocking them and they're starting to hang at a jaunty angle. Because things are rolling off my desk. It's happened a couple of times this week, and I've been like, oh, what happened there? Right, let's pop that back in here. Okay, so we're going to have to fix, or not fix, we're going to have to finish off our green pencil conundrum here. I think this is going to be my next six. I just don't know what order I'm going to put them in. So that's where we left off this lime coral, this lime coral colour, and that's this ridiculous chartreusey colour, which apparently is jasmine. So if we went from jasmine, again, I don't really, this looks, right, let's try here. Okay, no. Cowslip, so that's like sagey coloured. Daylily. Oh, that one needs to go back a bit. Begonia, so we'll probably go to begonia. Look how saturated that is though compared to these other pencils. Right, okay, so let's go jasmine, begonia, juniper lime. I need to see these three together now. Daylily, yeah, that's still quite clean. Daylily, cowslip, and then sunflower. Yes, okay, this is the order we're going in. Yes, yes, yes. Because sunflower, when we go to the next set, I can put my Inca Gold next to that. See? Ha 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 ha. And that'll take me into the browns. Problem solved. Right, glad I've got that sorted out in my tiny mind. April says, as a teen, looked down on romance. Now as a 40-something, you love them. Do you? I'm really not into romance novels. I can read or watch a person being hurt, but never an animal or a child. Hi, Peter. We're just swatching. This I've had this set of pencils for ages. They just never made it into the swatch book. So that is what we're doing. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming and popping your head in. That's really small, that swatch. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Hey, 23 watching, 23 likes. Thanks, guys. JK's writing is so bad. Yes, yes, yes. Again, I don't really want to get on my soapbox about that. Am I putting them in family order? Yes, I am, Elise, but it's in the sequence that's right in my mind, which isn't. We've discussed this kind of like back at the beginning of the stream, and everybody does it slightly differently. So I've put the wrong pencil down. I've just realised I put the wrong pencil down. Oh no, I've not. Thought I'd made a mess of that there, guys. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to make it make sense in my mind, if you know what I mean, Elise. So I'm not in manufacturer's order if that's what you're asking, because it made no sense to me. No sense. Peter needs a swatching book too. We've already discussed this as well, Peter. Some people are like me, and like this is just a really cheap sketchbook, and I liked it because it was in that landscape format. There are plenty of people in the chat who have binders with removable pages, and they are very handy because you can take out the page. You know, if you swatch your pencils out by brand, you can take the page out and you can shove the binder to the side, and it's not bulky, you know, when you're sitting trying to work on something. And also you can rearrange them into whatever order you want, and you can take out ones if you know, if you decide you've had enough of a set of pencils and you give them away or whatever, you can just take that page out and it's gone. I just prefer this. I'm a simple creature when it comes to stuff like this, but I do find having a swatch book really handy. There's sets of pencils where it's not such a thing for me. Like for example, the Prismacolors and the Polychromos, I'm very familiar with those pencils, but for the purposes of doing videos, it's really helpful to have so that people can try and pick out a similar pencil if they don't own that brand. But for my lesser used pencils, it's a big time saver, and I wouldn't be without a swatch book because I don't want to sit and swatch out 8, 9, 10 pencils every time I'm going to draw something, you know. Ready made references, it's a way forward. But yeah, for me, just a simple, cheap sketchbook's fine. Thea says, I think we need a whole evening to have that woman as a topic of discussion. I would rather not, thank you. Mary says, this show is one of my favourite set of colours in the whole set. I love these muted greens. I know they're pretty good, aren't they? Just realised my big head's in the way there. Hi Black Rose, how you doing? Thanks for coming and joining us. How's your day been? We're talking about books. April, I have a binder mostly because my paint collection overflows a book. Well, see, this one's pretty fat. See, if I just turn it on its side, there's a lot of pages in this. I do still have the label attached, sort of. Um, oh, look, I can read it in Swedish. It's only like 2 words, and I know the word for sketchbook in Swedish. It does tell you this. This was from Flying Tiger, which I call it the mini IKEA. I love Flying Tiger, but I mean, I've literally just paid a couple pounds for it. But there's a lot of pages in here. Like I'm not likely to run out of pages, which is nice. I like that feeling. It makes me feel safe. I just keep looking at this. I'm like, that's no more Jasmine than flying through the air. Marigold, pardon me. Sorry, beer burp. Would you like to give Jasmine an alternative name as well? I kind of want to just call it chartreuse, but I feel that that's a bit too easy. I like the begonia. That's a nice colour. Juniper lime. And then we've got daylily, cowslip, and sunflower. There we go. Put them in. Oh, I can hear a Pippi flapping her ears about. What are you doing, Pippa? You coming to see us? Hi. You've been sleeping somewhere. You say night, everybody? No. Pippi. Oh, don't stick your tongue on me. How you doing? You have been sleeping, haven't you? This is what she does. She just like pops in and then pops back out again. Like that's her. She'll just trot off now. It's like, yep, Mum's still okay. She's still alive. Everything's fine. I can leave again. Definitely something like neon lemon, but on a green front, nuclear green. Mm. I know I hate the fact that Pip does that. Like, oh, I don't like having my face licked by dogs. Like, I don't like licky dogs. Jock's not a licky dog, but Pip comes and like ambushes you. And generally she's not a licky dog, but every now and then the tongue comes out and like she catches you off guard, and you're like, ugh. And it's worse. She usually tries to get in your ear or in your mouth, and you're like, no, dog, just please don't do that. Neon snot, nuclear snot. I think I like nuclear snot. I think we'll go for that. Good job, Katara. Definitely not a pastel. You know, I was talking about questionable pastel tones. Just saying. It's almost as offensive as my blinking jumper. Righty ho. So I'm going to leave these greys till the end. They're definitely going to be my last two colours. So let's just see if we can get a sequence for these more kind of brownish tones. So I'm going to go with the Inca Gold next to the Sunflower. That makes sense. But look how close they are. Like, oh wee. Not those two. Obviously, that's that one. This one. I think they're quite close in colour. So we've got Apricot Twist. Eh. And that was the Cream Rose. I don't think that might be the right order, actually. I think we've kind of done that by accident. Okay, yeah, like it. Like it, like it. And then we've got my two greys. And that will conclude the set. Mission. Love it. Lobelia could work better too. What's wrong with Lobelia? Oh, do you mean because it's not pastel-y? When you see these in bigger swatches, you can tell that that one's more greenish, but these are like very close for me, and I wouldn't consider either of them to be particularly pastel-y colours, but that's just me. Again, they might just be trying to balance out the set a little bit, which again I can understand, and I'm not mad about it, so, you know, everything would be fine. Ugh, this is a really good colour for animal fur. I like this one a lot. What colour's that? Apricot Twist, yes. Noted. For future reference, there are pencils in this set that I would definitely use for animal fur. This one, not so much. It's just like a wishy-washy version of that. Can we call this wishy-washy Cream Rose? Just start renaming all the pencils. Get our own colour names. Don't need someone that's got that as an actual job. We can do it for ourselves for free. Candy Tuft. See, that's a bit of a silly name. I don't know if I like that. She says after saying I love snow waffle. Oh, a wee bit of gem logic for you there. Peach Rose. Again, why is this called Peach Rose? It's freaking grey. Like, get over yourself. There's no peach in it. There's definitely no rose in it. It's just a really, really, really pale grey. I'm gonna call that wishy-washy grey. Wishy-washy grey. Winterberry. See, Winterberry, that seems like an appropriate name for a grey pencil. Candy Tuft doesn't, I know. Bathwater grey, dishwater grey. I'm not gonna call that wishy-washy grey, okay, I kid you not. Ah, right, okay, so, oh god, that's my hand that time. That wasn't my, that wasn't my jaunty angled desk, that was my hand just going bleh. Which hasn't happened for a little while, which is nice. Inca Gold. Apricot Twist. Cream Rose. Candy Tuft. That's a terrible name. Well, it's not a terrible name, it just doesn't suit the pencil. I was about to start writing wishy-washy grey there. Peach rose. Wishy washy. Great. Thank you. Winterberry. There we go. Right, I am happy with that. When you see them together, though, they're really pretty set of pencils. Like, they really are. And they're nice to use. But winterberries are red. Dirty dishwater. Great white shark grey. Okay. So, thank you for your assistance with my swatches. Let's see if I just pull this out a wee teeny weeny bit. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's good. I'm quite satisfied with that as a set of swatches. I think we could have maybe have left Apricot Twist up here, but it seems to flow quite well. Like, I'm quite happy with the way the colours are set out, and I think this suits the way that I'm wired up quite well, so I'm quite pleased. But also, if we just look at the actual pencils in the tin now, so that's the bottom row with my funky wonky pencil that's the wrong way round. But that's relatively pleasing to the eyeballs as well, so I'm quite happy with that, and I can get used to working with them in that order fairly quickly. You know, they're going to feel familiar quite quickly, is what I mean, and that's quite important to me when I'm using pencil. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm working with a stranger. I want to feel like I'm working with a comfy pair of slippers, if that makes sense. So there you go. That is the Castle Arts Pasteltint pencils. When I bought this tin, I'm assuming you still get all the same stuff in the tin. But just if you're interested or it's something that you're maybe thinking about, they are really good quality for the price. Like, at Castle Arts pencils, I don't have anything bad to say about them generally in terms of value for money. But they've got this sheet that's got the whole colour palette in, which is nice if you like that sort of thing. I think I must have folded this the wrong way at some point because there's another crease there and that's the wrong way round. But that's okay. It's not that important. You get this little tutorial booklet as well. So if I just fold this out, they actually take you through a step-by-step in here. And they tell you what pencils to use as well, which is nice. So there's that in there too. They also do give you like a swatch sheet. So if you've got a binder, you could just punch holes in this and stick it straight in. It is in manufacturer's order though, not in like funky gem order. But if you like that sort of thing, or you maybe don't have time to sit down and faff about like I've done tonight, then that's an option for you. So there's this little catalogue as well. This is what we were using for those of you that have been in the Wednesday live streams. I hadn't used these pencils at all at that point, and this was the colour chart, like the swatch chart I used to try and guide me for what I wanted, and it was really helpful. There's quite a lot of technical information and tips in this little book as well, and it's actually a very high quality edition for something that's you know, just added in, because a lot of these things that we get when we buy a set of pencils, I always feel like they're just an afterthought, but that the one in with these pencils is actually really good. And then there's this nice lovely posh sheet of paper, but again, not really bothered about that. See, trying to get the lid shut on this once you put all that back in, you're like it's like I'm gonna have to try and fold that colour chart up again. Okay, so there you go, that is that. It's a fairly enjoyable process, I have to say. I felt like the peach rose has a tint of peach, so New colour names in red blue. We'll just rename all of them, Patty. Ah, Bumph, yeah, that's a good word. We would spell it Bumph, Bumph. Their new Harmonious set is fabulous. I haven't looked at that yet. I meant to look at that after someone mentioning it last time, but I haven't done that yet. Yeah, okay, I'm definitely gonna have to, you know, like, I don't want this set of pencils. Okay, that might be a future video. Right, guys, I am going to take a very short break. I am going for a comfort break. As per usual, please have your discussion about what you've had for your dinner or what you're having for dinner. Obviously, I'll be eating later on, so I don't really want to be part of that conversation right now. And I'm just going to stretch my legs a wee bit and I'll be back in a jiffy. So as per, entertain yourselves. You're all very good at it. I'll let her just get April to tell you another story about books that she's read in French. I'll be back in a minute. Steak and potatoes, oh you lot. I've just had a quick chat with Mr. Jem. So we're going to go for like maybe another, well, just under an hour. Mr. Jem's hanging off so that he can eat with me, which is quite nice. He's installed himself on the couch. He's chilling out. So yeah, I think about an hour, but we'll see how we go with this because I really don't know how this is going to go, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Got both dogs now. Hello, hello, both of you. They don't know what to do with themselves because Mr. Jem's in as well. Are you coming up to say hi? Oh, God, Jockey. Well, you've been sleeping all this time, haven't you? You tell all the cavers you've been snoozing. He's just a boy. He smells really bad. He's going to get a bath this weekend. Yeah, he's just got like old dog smell about him. Good boy, sure you are. Right, okay. So here's the situation with the Christmas card thing. I've been commissioned to do the Christmas card for my local post office, which is in the nearest village, and they, to give you an idea of what I'm kind of thinking and looking at, the demographic here is fairly well off retirees, shall we say. So it is an older demographic. Some are very old. So it's going to be quite traditional and it's a view of the village. And the postmistress who has commissioned me to do this has specified that she wants a snow scene. So I have to kind of bear that in mind. Now, the challenge arises in that a lot of the buildings in the village are white. So we're going to have snow, we're going to have white buildings, but there are quite a lot of buildings that have the characteristics and they have like sandstone parts in them. So the buildings aren't all completely sandstone, but they have this nice warm red colour. So I was kind of thinking if we're choosing colour palettes, it would probably be nice to have something that fitted in around this warm sort of terracotta ready-ish colour, and we've got room for manoeuvre. I'm probably going to do it in like a line and wash type thing. I seem to default to that for winter scenes. I don't know why, given that I'm not the most talented watercolour artist. But if we kind of bear that in mind when we're thinking about colour palettes, so ideally something with terracotta in it. Now, again, what I'm thinking is I've got room for manoeuvre when it comes to the sky, for example. You know, we can make the sky any colour we want, really. But I can also add in pops of colour here and there with just some of the other things that are in the picture. Postmistress hasn't chosen. I've given her like three options of different views, and there's different things in different views, so I can kind of work around that as well. But I just thought it would be really nice to have a little flick through some of the cards in these colour cubes. So for those of you that are unfamiliar, these are by Sarah Renee Clark, who is a very popular YouTuber and artist, and she's worked very hard to put these together. Thea, could you possibly put up a link to these in the chat for anyone that wants to check them out? There are two boxes. Stretch. There are two boxes and they're labelled 1 and 2, which is convenient. And within these boxes are a set of cards. So if I just lift this up, I always think of like Trivial Pursuit. But if I just pull out one to show you for the uninitiated, these are plastered all over social media all the time. If you've got any sort of art algorithm, you'll probably have seen these. But for those of you that haven't, so on each card, which is numbered, there is a picture, and they've pulled the colours out from the picture to give you a nice coherent colour palette. So if you're looking for some inspiration, which is what I usually do with these, like I just like to sit and flick through them, and there's literally hundreds of them, which is great. But also this is where it gets really good. When you turn over onto the back, they have the colours down the side with a name. They also have the hex codes for them, so if you're working digitally, you can put in the exact code and get the exact colour. But on this right hand side here, there is a tint and a shade version, so there's a lighter version and a darker version of the original colour that's been pulled from the picture that's on the front. So they're just really practical, they're really good, they're inspirational, and Normally I find things like this quite gimmicky, but I can honestly say I use these all the time, and I do like to just sit and flick through them because it's fun. So there are a lot of them. That was 209. I don't know, put that back somewhere. I'll kind of get to it. So even if we just take a quick flick through and try and find some that have got terracotta-y colours. So there's one there. I mean, there's a lot of bright colours, but let's just pull some out. But you can see like the images and everything are so varied. Like there's so much going on, and there is literally something for everyone and every style of artist. Like everyone can use these in some way or another. So as I go through, I'm kind of looking for obviously anything that's got like a wintry scene in it. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, let's do that. But just to find something, I thought even if I could get a short list of like 3 or 4, and then you guys could help me pick something that might be good. Oh, you know, let's look at this one with the coloured pencils. Oh, that's one of my favourites. Mine are at the side of you on the printer. Oh, okay. Now see that might not be something to pick, but again, it's got blues in it, and blues are really good colour to use in with snow scenes or like purples. At least I think you should use violet and red violet in the shadows to contrast the brown terracotta building. Oh, I'm getting suggestions. 300 is an interesting one, right? Okay, shout me near the time. That must be, is that box 2, Thea? What does box 1 stop at? Box 1 stops at 250, so we'll maybe pick out. I mean, I'm not going to have a lot of bright colours because obviously I know the area and know that there's not a lot of bright colours, but you know, I'm not going to be using like a bright pink at any point, I don't think. Oh look, pastel colours. See, that really speaks to me though. Like I really like that one. Don't know what I'd use it for, but I know that I like it. There you go, Mary. There's some lilacs in there for you. This is quite interesting, but I don't think it's quite what I'm looking for. There's another There's a very pastel-y one. Okay. Not come across anything that's tickling me yet. Thea's like just shouting out numbers now. Okay. I really like this one as well. That's more of a colour palette that I would use, definitely. It's got like a weird 80s vibe to it. That was very decor trendy in the 80s. I'm not really coming across anything particularly terracotta. Oh, there's one for all our purple gals as well. Oh, like that one. Like that. That's quite a nice one too. I like that. Ah, now here we go. That might be quite interesting. Because again, if you know, if you're thinking about colours you're going to use in with your snow, blues might be good. You wanted help, I'm taking that literally. Okay. Okay. There's more blues as well. And I don't know whether to, yeah, I'll keep that one out just now. There's another terracotta one. Oh, now that might be quite nice. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, there's 2 colours for the buildings. You've got a shadow colour, and you could use these in a sky. Well, it seems to be all the good ones are in the second box. Okay, I might have to speed this up a little bit. Oh, that's nice as well. I think that's too warm for what I need though, definitely. Oh, look how pretty that one is too. Number 68, that's one of my favourites. Oh, so 16, this kind of reminds me of an area that I walk in around the farm. There's a bit that's very like this in the ground, like kind of drops off down this side. It's one of Pippi's favourite places to chase squirrels as well. And it's coming into that time of year where this would be really good. Number 69, I need to remember that one. Can you see why I get really excited about this? Like, I really, really enjoy that. There's another sort of more wintry cool set of colours, so we'll keep that out even though there's not any terracotta in it. That's cute as well. And more pastel-y ones as well. Hmm. Y'all are hilarious. I don't even need to sit and go through these, I just look through the numbers that you give me. I'm always scared I miss something though. That's really pretty as well. Vlog. I really like the fact that they've they've gone through every possible combination of what could people possibly want to spark some sort of inspiration. Like they've done a really good job in the range and variety of pictures and elements that they've chosen. Oh, that one's nice too. I like that one. Some blues. Oh, now that might be quite a good one as well. Oh, okay. Jock, not scratching. I think that was a genuine scratch. I don't think that was a. I don't think that was a habitual scratch. Well, look at these lovely autumn colours as well. I think that's a palette that I would use fairly soon just because we're coming into that time of year. That some of the leaves on the trees here have started to turn, but just like very, very slightly. We've got a wee while to wait yet, I think, before things get really exciting. See, again, now I don't think I'm adverse to that either because there are some like shrubs and things that might be evergreen. The other thing I've had to do as well is I've asked in one of the community groups if anyone's got random snaps of the village in winter. We've only been here a year and a bit, and I can honestly say I wasn't paying attention to the flora of the village over the winter. Um, Obviously not having any clue that I would be painting something in the village, but also because I'm not really in the village much. Like we are way outside the village. Um, so I've asked if anybody's got just pictures that they've taken that happen to be in the winter time, just so I can see what the trees and stuff look like. So we'll see what that returns in terms of help. See, this is another one as well. This might work. Okay. Ideally, what I would like to do here is get maybe a set of three to show to the postmistress to see if she has a preference in terms of colour palette. Well, I don't know. If I end up with more than that, I don't want to overwhelm her though either. Um, I think her last experience, because apparently they commissioned an artist in a nearby town last year and they ended up really not liking the card. And the postmistress was, she was quite surprised when I took her through the steps of, like, we'll do this, I'll show you stuff. And she's like, oh, this is all very official. And I'm like, well, that's the way it's supposed to be. Like, that's how commissions work. Oh, this one might be good. Mm. We're going to get some warmth from the terracotta colour, but oh yeah, okay, okay, okay. It's a lot of autumnal shades here. This is like maybe too much terracotta. 133, yeah. That's this one we've got here. Oh, you guys are like just chucking numbers at me now, right? Hang on. Are any of them under 250? 249. Miri said 249. The rest are all 400s, 300s. 133 we've got. Okay. Right, that's fine. I'ma just keep going for now. Oh, so pretty as well. So pretty. So pretty. That's a nice wintry one as well. See? I like that one. Yeah, I think you guys are going to have to help me shortlist these a wee bit. See, I kind of like this too, but I feel it's too cool for what we need. Patty says, not for you, but I love the Moody 372. Okay, so we'll take a look at all these numbers when we get there. This is too grey. I'm kind of glad that we've got the sandstone. That might work too. Okay. What do we think about 157? Yay or nay? I'm not sure about that one. Might just be a bit too flat. Well, see, this is the thing. It could be a night scene, Thea. Katara says nah. Will I put that one to the side? Will I put that in like a maybe pile for now? Again, haven't decided whether it's going to be nighttime, daytime, sunset, sunrise. Daria says yay. Yay. Right, I'll keep that one to the side. We'll leave that as undecided for now. That cakes look yummy. Yum, 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 yum. Too grey. Again, that is totally a palette I would paint in though, like 100%, but not for what I need for this time. Red. The other thing I really like about these cards is number one, they've got rounded corners so they don't get so dog-eared, but the actual quality of the cards, they've got like a coating on them. They're not shiny, obviously, you can see there's no like bad bounce light. But see, if you've got these kicking about and you're painting and you spill something on it, you could wipe it off and they're going to come out absolutely fine. And that's some I really appreciate build quality with things, especially nowadays. You know, sometimes it's not a case of you get what you pay for. Sometimes you pay a lot for stuff and it's still terrible. But these are so well made. They're really, really good. Oh, that's cute as well. Look at that. Oh, I like that one. Clear winter morning with sun glinting off the snow would be lovely. Purples and blues and terracotta. I like that. Take out the black and replace with a dark blue green. Yep, that would work. A touch of pink. Yeah. Okay. I'm loving all your suggestions. I knew you guys would be into this. Like, I knew you would be into it. See, this one might be quite good as well. Because I'm thinking as well, the sandstone part of it depends on which way the light's shining. If I just go back to this picture here that I showed you initially, you know, it can look quite dark, almost brown in places, but it can be much, much, much lighter. And then you've got the characteristic of the actual stone as well. So we've got quite a lot of room to play. And I don't think that palette's completely out the way. Again, if we think about you know, a sky where it's about to snow and then some colour to actually put in the snow itself. Not a bad shout. Susan's just sitting drowning in what, Susan? This one too. Very festive. Very festive. Again, that's kind of similar. That would pull in a little bit of purple as well. Oh yeah. Oh, these are all quite similar. Some more purples. Purple, purple. Love this one too. Love this one. Okay, we're coming to the end of the first box. I say all the action seems to be in box 2, which is fine. Oh, you're drooling over the pretty cards. I was like, why are you drowning? What do we need to send help? Oh look, yay, greens. My favourite. Love this one. I actually really love this image. I just love like a play with lighting with stuff like this. And that is not a picture I would ever think to draw a colour palette from. And that's the kind of thing that I need sometimes to just push me, you know, to do something and get out my comfort zone. So I actually really, really like that. I would love to use that for something at one point. I mean, look at that. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Lots of purpley ones going on here. Oh, this is very British looking, isn't it? That would probably work well as well. We do have a post box that's red. I've used red in a winter scene before, if you remember when I did the Christmas story about the puppy being stuck in the post box. So I think we'll skip that because we've kind of done that already. We've kind of done it already. Ulrika likes the moody blues. Reminds you of the pastel pencils bought from Cass Arts. Oh, did you go and do the doing, Ulrika? Did you? Very British, yes, very British. This is really pretty as well. It's a really nice selection of colours. Because, well, that kind of tickles my fancy on the indigo and the green front. So yeah, I'm in. I did. I bought many things. Dania says I'm coming in a bit late, but this must be the orange jumper. Yeah, I thought I would wear it today after mentioning it in Wednesday's stream. I have ordered the teal one. I am waiting on that arriving, so I shall showcase that at some point as well. I say I love this jumper, I really do. Yeah, these are all a bit. Oh, I like that one too. I'm really into that. That's a bit drab. That's a bit too much in the way of cool colours, I think. I mean, obviously, you don't have to stick to that. I mean, if you're going to use something like this for a painting, you don't have to stick to just these colours. You can sneak other stuff in as well. But I'm kind of trying to see what jumps out at me as well. Ulrika, watercolours, acrylics, pastel pencils, ink pens, blocks, graphite, canvases, and paper. Did we go past 181? Yeah, we're well past 181. I've got 181. It's here. It's right here. No, I don't think I went for 180. No, I didn't go for 183. Thea's got it all sorted. She's like, you don't need to worry until 249. Oh, I love this one too. Like, I really like this one. Oh, there's Scott. That was just to go back when you asked about themes for your sketchbook. I actually thought about coffee, Thea, like a coffee theme. Whether you want to take that as a colour or as in like teacups and cafetiers and all that kind of thing. That would make a really nice, excuse me, sketchbook page that would fit in with like your previous autumnal theme of mushrooms and things. Just a thought. I meant to say that earlier, but obviously got sidetracked by all the pretty pastel colours. No, that's not going to do it for me either. Right, okay, so that's the first box. That's pretty productive out of one box. So I'm just going to pop all these together. See how we're doing for time. Still got about half an hour. And that was our maybe 157. So I'll pop that there. Now I'm just looking at this straight away. 181 was one we'd picked out. That's a very similar palette. So this may be one I'm gonna put it back because we've got one that's very like it. I just need to find roughly where it goes. Straighten all these up a little bit. Put them back in. It's really satisfying doing that as well. I love doing that. There's 155 in there. Make sure to put it back in the right place, you see. See, when I did that on the desk, was that really loud? Yeah, what did you say 25? No, 249. Did I miss that one? 250. 249. Yeah, no, not into that. No. Sorry, guys. I'll say most of the ones that you guys have shouted out are in the second box, so you can stop me on the way past. Oh. Right, so that was the first box. I'm just going to pop that behind me. And this is box 2. Ooh. Oh, I forgot to put 209 away. Oh. 300 is the first stop. Right, you keep me right here. Let me just put this one away as well. 209. 219. There we go. I was like, my beer's empty, but my not empty one's right here. Oh, starting to get dark now. This is one of the joys of being in Scotland. Better not put that there because I'll forget it's there. Right, okay. Time for supper. Maybe catch you in a bit, or if not, catch up tomorrow. Thanks for popping in, Ulrika. It was really nice to see you, and I hope you enjoy all your Cass Arts haul that you've bought. Okay, so Thea says we're gonna push on till we get to, what did you say, 300? I love that too. Oh, 261. That's a lot of autumnal colours. I need to think more wintry because I'm snow. Need to think about snow. Love this one too. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. I don't know why we've got a blue orange, but it works. 27? No, okay. Mary's saying your carer's due any minute too. Yeah, Mary, make sure you get yourself sorted out. It was really nice to have you here as well, because I know you usually just kind of pop in and out, don't you? So good. Yeah, 300. I'll just take a quick flick through these though, if you don't mind. Oh. Okay, 293. Ooh, that's kind of fancy. You don't mind. Okay. Love this as well. Oh, so good. Again, two favourites. Nice sage green in there. Nice kind of like indigo teal colour. Yep, that 297's for me. It's a Gem special. 300. Ooh, yeah, good shout. Okay, 300's a yes from me. Let me put that there so that you can see it. What was your next shout out? In numerical order. 313. Really like this one as well. See, when I think about sunlight or if there's any sky showing, I kind of think about like this kind of colour, but that's not going to really help me for a terracotta building. Oh, that looks like it's in Amsterdam or somewhere. It's like a canal there. Oh yeah, okay, we're getting into interesting territory here. 312, 313. 313? No. No, it can't be doing with the pink. Sorry, vetoed that one. Well, yeah, that you know that I was kind of leaving things open for that Katara. Like I'm quite willing to go creative with the sky. I don't think that hot pink is it though. Yeah, no. 315. Yeah, okay, I'll give you 315, perhaps. He is like, oh. Um. Yeah, too orangey, too brown. This one's lovely as well. See this particular shade of green with like a true red? Those colours are lovely together. And I know most people kind of associate that with like a festive feel, but look at this. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Really like it. Oh, this is fun too. We haven't really seen very many snow scenes, have we? The green is lovely, isn't it? Love this one too. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's quite nice. Like that one. Okay. What's that? 335? Oh. Oh, well, yes, now maybe. Good shout. Have I got two together there? No. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This is a lovely palette. If you're looking for something more muted, or you're working more with you know, nature and that kind of thing, that is a lovely palette. Like I really like that one. They're calling that beige though. I wouldn't say that's beige. I would say that's like a very washed out green myself personally, but that's just me. Susan, I'm going to have to save my pennies to get these. They're so beautiful. As I say, Susan, you know me, I don't recommend things unless it's something that I really believe in and use myself. And for me, these are so worth it. It is a lot of money, but this is something that's worth investing in. It's not like it's not something that's like a fad or a passing phase. You're always going to want cohesive colour palettes. And even if your colour theory is really strong, it was like that image with the hands, you know, with the different lighting on. That's not something I would come up with myself, even though I know I'm comfortable with colour theory. Um, so just from an inspirational point of view, if you are a visual creature, which most artists are, to be fair, it's a worthwhile investment. It really is. 337 is lovely. Oh, hang on. Did we go past that one? Oh, hang on. Oh, you like that one? Terry, these are going to my wish list for Christmas. Yeah, do it. They are. They're so good. I see. Sometimes, not that I've got like time to idle very often, but I really enjoy just sitting flicking through them. Like I could do this all day and just keep going. It's nice when you're actually looking for something. To be fair. Mary agrees as well, worth every penny. They're cheaper now, they're shipping from the UK and Europe. Yeah, mine shipped from the UK. I thought mine were going to be shipped from Australia, but they weren't. So they arrived pretty quickly as well. Oh, look at this little dude. Hey there. His tail's looking a bit worse for wear there. Little red squirrel. So cute. So cute. 354 is the next one. I see I'm not adverse to this because I could use that for sky and reflections on snow. Um, that maybe. Oh, so pretty. You guys know I'm a sucker for a sunset as well. 353. Again, that's very similar to what was. I think that's one's actually probably better than that one. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep that one out. 351 can go back in the pile. In there. 354 is super pretty. I would have to keep everything else very neutral though. Right, I'm going to put that as a maybe. Jim's not going to like 354. I do like it. No, I do like it. 355 again. This is pretty much what we're looking at before. Oh, I see again. You know, if you chop that bit off, I can't have silhouette stuff though. I need to paint the stuff that's in the foreground. I can't be lazy. I'll get shouted at. Oh, this is so nice as well. I like that one too. I don't think that's the one I'm going to use, but I kind of like it. Next are in the 400s. Hello, MJ Pete, you made it. How are you doing? So glad to have you here. I know you've been trying really hard to make a stream, and I know that you said that you weren't sleeping very well. I did see your comment on the last live stream. I just didn't have a chance to respond to it today. Okay, Patty's saying 372. Thank you, Thea. There, I've fixed my wonky necklace. We're fine. 372, Patty. Right, okay. See again, almost but not quite. Just to catch you up, MJ, I've been commissioned to do a Christmas card from a local village, and they want a snow scene, but some of the buildings have sandstone in them. So we're just going through Sarah Renee Clark's colour cubes here to try and pick out some palettes for some inspiration. And the guys that have got these are calling out numbers that they think might be appropriate. So if you see lots of numbers in the chat, we're not playing bingo, okay? Glad you could join us though. Patty likes 372. Hi Black Rose, how you doing? Not for you, Cardo. So Patty likes 372, but it's not appropriate for what we're doing. All right. Okay. These are a wee bit too dark. Although that could work really well as contrast and shadows for snow. I'm not going to discount. I'm going to put that in the maybe pile as well. Oh, this is my favourite. Oh, those are so good. Like that. Oh, I'm so tired. He didn't turn back over to sleep. How good for you. I don't know yet. At least that's the kind of the point of doing this. You know, I might do the time of day based on the colours that we pick or the colours that the customer picks. This is so pretty too. That's too intense, clearly. Right, okay. To be fair, we're doing pretty well for suggestions here. We're gonna have to get these into our short list, I think. Oh, I love this one as well. So good. So good, so good. We've got one very similar to that already. $3.70 looks wintry. Did I just bypass that completely? 7, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it does. Again, very similar to one we've already picked, so I'll let it slide. But yes, I'm glad I went back and looked. Right, 378. Well, we're into really bright colours now. There is a kind of chunk that are it's mostly animal portraits, and there's a lot of like terracotta A-type colours in there, so I think that's probably where we'll head. Next up, 436. Black Rose, getting a bit sleepy, had to get up at 4:30. Well, that was earlier than me, goodness me, and been to the gym. So you've been a busy bee then. You've every right to be tired. MG Pete's asking, do I have a reference? Yes, I do. I have several. The problem is that the client hasn't picked what angle they want yet, and I'm allowed to get creative with the colour of the sky and things. So we're just trying to get some colour palettes together to show the client, and maybe she'll make a decision on what viewpoint she wants based on the colours. So we're in very early stages here. Very early stages. Not really. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Thea, next up, 436. Okay, well, we're a wee bit off that. So we'll just have a quick flick through these. They're just say they're just nice to look at. iPad's making weird noises. I don't know. I'm not used to the iPad noises yet. It makes different noises from my phone, which is weird. Kind of. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to show you. Mr. Gems traded his tractors in. He's getting new tractors. So one of the things they had to do was clean out all the old tractors before they send them in. And they found this under one of the seats in one of the tractors. We have no idea how long it's been there. We've no idea who it belonged to or does belong to. It's probably a long lost employee. I have a problem with these things. I'm desperate to know what music's on this. I don't even know if this will take a charge. If anybody's got any suggestions of how I can resurrect this, please let me know. But it's one of there's a load of junk stuck in the charging port, but it's one of the really big old-fashioned chargers. Obviously, this is a really old iPod. I don't think it's going to take a charge, but I would love to get the music off this and find out. So that was quite exciting. Mr. Gem brought it in for me because he knew I would be desperate to find out what music was on it. Is the iPad new to you? Yes, it is. I only bought it like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Yeah, super old charging port, one of the big massive ones. Very, very, very pinky purplies. 436. I'm starting to lose my concentration. I've had too much beer now. She says and takes another swig. I could connect it to the PC. Yeah, well, that's a good point. I just need to get a cable for it. The thing is, though, I don't know if it's been dead too long that it won't kick in, if you know what I mean, Katara. Yeah, no, okay, no. Just been to look at the price and not as much as I was expecting in free postage. I take it you're referring to the cards, Susan, and not iPods or charging cables. Oh, look at the flamingo. Look at flamingos. They're all very warm. I love this one as well. Love this one. That's screaming out to be used for something. Macaron. Oh, is April still here? Another French word, macaron. The cards, yes, Susan. A Black Rose has been trying to use an iPad at work, still can't find you around settings and stuff. I'm a Windows and Android gal. Well, see, I'm like right down the middle because when it comes to proper stuff, I am like Windows, Microsoft through and through. But I've always had an iPhone, so I kind of like straddle the fence. I have to say, I am very much enjoying it. I've spent a lot of time using Procreate and doing loads of tutorials just to find my way around it, and I love it so much more than Photoshop. Like I've never gotten on with Photoshop or Illustrator. Like I've just it's always been a struggle, and it's just like finding stuff in the menus and how, like the steps you go through to do things has never really made sense, and Procreate is just so easy to use. So that in itself is great. I touched up all the aqua buddies in Procreate. Not great for printing stickers. I farted about with all the printer settings and everything on the iPad, and they just didn't come out the way I want. But with Procreate now, you can convert and export the files in PSD. So I just dumped them over and printed them off in Photoshop, where the settings are set, unsurprisingly. And that's worked really well for me. 436. Well, there you go. That's festive and fits what I want because we've got some terracotta in there. That is a good shout. Like it a lot. Good job, Thea. I think that's actually one of my favourites so far. And I need to remember that this is a Christmas card as well. I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to stick a Christmas tree in, but we'll find out soon enough. Marigold's still debating an iPad for using Procreate. See, if it was just for Procreate, it's a lot of money to spend just to use it for one thing. If you would use it for other stuff as well, I would say absolutely. I use mine every day, and most of you will know. I mean, I debated about getting an iPad for about 2 years, and I decided I would start saving up. And I've had it about 2 weeks now, and I use it every day, every single day. So take from that what you will. And I'm also really surprised as well. The Apple Pencil that I've got. I'll just show you this really quickly and digress slightly. But it's a second generation Apple Pencil I've got. So this is the one that charges by sticking to the side of the iPad. So it's like a magnet. So it takes its charge from the iPad. And I thought that was going to suck the living daylights out of the battery, especially when you've got a YouTube video running in an inlay and you're using Procreate with the Apple Pencil at the same time. The battery holds up really, really well. Like, I'm impressed. Thea, next up, 483. Okay. I'd watch stuff on it, but that would be it. Well, that's the other thing, Mary. Like, we don't have a TV in our bedroom. I'm like really against that. But see if you're having like a really odd, like lazy Sunday morning, that's like gold dust to Mr. Jem and I. It would be nice to lie in bed and watch something. Mr. Jem has an iPad. He has like a standard iPad, and I'm like, well, mine's big, so we can do stuff like that. But I use it for cave stuff as well. I had the conversation about running between the laptop, which is here, and the packing station, which is over there. I can do all the orders from the packing station now because they're on the iPad. So I've got a lot of uses for it, but to use the Apple Pencils, it's an iPad Pro. They're not cheap. They are not cheap, but worth it. Ooh, look at this. I've hit this when I was saying there's this like section that's got a lot of animals in it. That's us here. Do you like my cover? Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's like galaxy kind of themed. It's kind of good. Yeah, I like it too. I've also got a cover that's got a built-in Bluetooth keyboard that came with the iPad, and I tried that out for the first time the other day, and I really like the hybrid of having the touch screen but having the keyboard as well. And what I was doing was I was working on the commission contract for this Christmas card. So I've got a commissions template, and obviously I was just kind of like amending bits and pieces. So when you're jumping through paragraphs, it's really nice just to be able to tap the screen rather than having to scroll with the touchpad. And the keys are quite responsive on it as well. I like a good clicky key. So yeah, overall I'm quite impressed with it. Okay, Mary, thanks for coming in. Have a good evening. I hope you have a relaxing rest of your Friday night. MG Pete's met several people that have abandoned their laptops for iPads with a keyboard. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever abandon my laptop, but I can see myself using my iPad occasionally with the keyboard. Hi, Jan. Oh, I'm glad you're able to pop in. Pink on her hands for Thea. See you later, Mary. A guitarist saying she's got a Surface. My dad's got a Surface and he hates it. Hello, a view is a view. Nice to see you. We're just discussing iPads versus laptops if you want to join in the conversation. And we're also picking out colour palettes that have got terracotta in them, but to be used in a snow scene, so that's where we're at. I really like this one, but I don't think it's quite right. Thea, what was the next one you said? Was it 446? This one maybe? No. Oh, Jack Russell. Oh. Patty still has the MacBook, but mostly use your iPad. Are you not confident about the new one, Katara? 483. Oh, we're a ways off then. Oh, look at this little dude. Oh. There's one for Thea as well. Skip. Skip, skip. Most of the next ones until that are animals and what's the word? Monochromatic almost. Okay. Look at this little dude as well. It's a colourful chap or chapette. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I've got a doggo staring me in the face in this one. Yeah, these are all quite similar as well, aren't they? Let's kind of skip ahead a little. Oh, look at this dude. Oh, it's a dude. Elephants. Poopies. Always the poopies. More poopy. That would work quite well as well. Is this similar to what we've got? Not really. Yeah, let's take the beagle puppy. Why not? This little man with his legs crossed as well. At least he's got two iPad Pros. Well, lucky you. Older one is my video watch device, yeah, while I work, and the other one is for drawing. It's got an ARM processor, an ARM processor. Has to do emulation for Intel-based software, so yeah. Yeah, well, I'll do it for you then. Good luck. There's another squirrel. That's two squirrels we've had. Lego. We're not talking about Lego. We've already had the Lego conversation this evening. Of course. All of the yellows as well. I have to say, yellow is a colour I like a lot. It's not my favourite colour, but I do have an affinity to yellow. Yellow is Papa Gem's favourite colour. So that's maybe where I get it from. This is just my absolute favourite. Like, yes, I'll have this all day long, every day of the week. Again, we've kind of got palettes like this. I'm not going to go for 473. It's very similar to what we've got already. Pink army toy men. Okay. Yellow umbrellas. Yeah, these are very monochromatic. You weren't kidding when you said that. A pink pineapple. Oh, come on. I don't need a pink pineapple. Ooh, love this one too. Ooh. 482. 483. Oh, okay, look, so there is an actual sandstone building. Kind of what we're going to be looking at. Yeah, 483. I approve. I approve. I think we've done quite well out of this. That's a bit. Last one's 497. Okay. Yeah, these are, I mean, we've got, although they're different, we've got similar things. I like 492 as well. I'm keeping that one out. But we've got very, very similar ones already. $497. Did you say 497? I don't know how I feel about that one. Nah. 498, 499. 500. There we go, guys. Right, okay. So, let me just try not to do this too loudly because I know the mic will pick that up. Especially if any of you have got earphones in, I don't want to deafen you. That wouldn't be good. Don't want to deafen the cavers. Well, not intentionally anyway. Oh no. That's clearly not in the right place. I'll worry about that later. E2. Oh no, it is going in the right place. Oh, okay. Hi Wendy, how you doing? Ooh. Just sometimes I pick up bundles of these and I look at the box and I think, did they actually all fit in there? They must have done, they came out of there. Righty ho ho. So, let's look at what we've got. A lot of palettes. Jeez. Right, okay. I'm gonna have to narrow this down a bit, guys. Look at the stack that we've got. Oh, God. Right, so let's try and group them into ones that are similar, because obviously if there's ones that are similar, we don't need multiples of them. I feel like that's two together. And none of these are similar so far. Katara thinks that 436 is a little too indoorsy. Okay. Kind of like it though. We still don't have anything that's... Right, see these ones, although they're not the same, they're kind of the same idea. This one's very similar to... You can't even see... I'll zoom out a little bit. I'll give myself a bit more space here. Right, okay. So yeah, like that one and that one, they're not the same, but they're kind of in the same ballpark. This one's similar-ish to that as well. The blues and browns. But yeah. And that's kind of heading into that territory. Yeah, they are the Sarah cubes. I love that you call them that. You've got the digital ones. I was just saying how much I really like these boxes. We all recommend, yes, we do. Again, that's quite similar to that one, but also to this one. And that's very similar to that. This one, not so much. I like this one because it's got this pop of turquoise in it. Really like that one. Okay. So like all the monochromatic-y blue type ones, they can all kind of go together. I feel like that one's out on its own as well. Don't really know what to do with that one either, but it kind of goes with that one. Right, okay. So hang on a wee second here. I feel like they all kind of go together. So we can narrow this down. Look at this disaster area. It's like we really don't need 4 that are all the same. I would keep that one because it's slightly different in terms of the colours that are used. So out of these 3 then, which one would you guys keep out of 55, 73 and 353? We'd like to help with the shopping. I'm kind of inclined... Oh, everyone's saying 55. Well, everyone, like 2 of you have said 55. Thea says 353. Oh, 353. Oh, 3 votes for 353. I would have said 353 personally, just thinking about a Scottish winter. So we're split between 55 and 353. Okay, so 73 is definitely out then. Let's do it that way. So we've got 2 like that, which is fine. Okay. I think that maybe this one should go back. I think I was a wee bit overexcited about that. I think we should just get rid of that one and narrow down the options a little bit. Okay. Right, we're narrowing down. So out of this pile here, let's see what we've got. So we've got 147, which is quite wintry. We've got 176, 181, and 492. Personally, I think that we should pick between 181 and 492. And we should pick between 147 and 176. But that's just me. What are your thoughts on those? That kind of goes with that too. That one goes that pick. Right, okay. 492, 176. Okay, I think 176 is good. Okay, 181 and 176. I kind of feel the same way, so I'm going to go with those of you that have said that already. And I'm going to take these two away. So now we're narrowing it down. I think I'll put that one away as well. Okay, good. Making progress. We're making progress. Let me just shuggle these about a wee bit. There the maybe pile. It's like the wild card pile. I like it. Right, okay, so out of these ones then we've got 54, 61, 300 and 483. I don't know why I've got 483 in with that, but we'll let it slide. So Thea says 300. Patty says 483. I quite like 483. Jan says 300. Katana says 483. So are we at least agreeing that 54 and 61 are out? Is that where we're going with this? Oh, Susan likes 61. Okay, everyone's in for 483. Love it. Okay. So let's keep that. Jan has no idea what we're doing. Can someone in the chat explain to Jan what's going on, please? Okay. Out of these three then, I think 300's the one that's going to stay. We're narrowing it down. We're narrowing it down. Okay. One, 5, 6 and 4, 3, 6. It should or could include terracotta. Yeah, terracotta's optimal. Patty, either. MJ Pete, neither. Okay, 436 is in. Right, that's grand. Good job, guys. So we've got 315 and 460. I kind of want to pull in 57 on that one as well because they are quite similar. Votes for these two. Vote for 57 or 60. 57. Any more for any more? Patty doggy. Another one for 460. Thea thinks that 460 is too dark. Well, again, we don't know if we're going to do a nighttime scene or not, so one for 315. Okay, 460 is the winner on that front. Cool. We are getting there now. Okay, I have a very strong affinity for 133. But if you had to choose between 133 and 335, I think this would be an excellent palette personally. It would be quite a dreich winter scene for our Christmas card. Again, we can brighten up the sky. Oh, okay, this is overwhelming. Love it. Okay, good job. Right, so we've got some wild cards literally left now. So let's put these in order. So we've got 102. We have got 121, 354, and 366. Again, if you just pick one of those, that would be lovely. 133. Then we've got 354. No, 102, 366. 102 and 366. Nobody likes the lovely pink of a snowy morning. Well, I think 366 is definitely in. And okay, right, let's go 102 as well. Right, okay. So that's narrowed it down substantially to less than 100, which is great. Well done, you guys. Okay, I feel like... How many have we got here? We've got 11. Right, I feel like this one's going to be a permanent feature because it's a very different palette. And I need way less than 9. I need like 3 or 4 here. This should stay because it's very different from what's going on. I feel quite strongly about that. I kind of want to pull from this one or this one. What's Katara saying? 460 and 133. 460, 133. Yeah, they are. Okay, right. So that's a really good point. 181 and the one next to it are very similar, or the one that I've just pulled out. If we had to choose between these two, so that's 102 and 483, I feel like we could really utilise the pink in 483 for skies or whatever. Whereas I feel like with this, I might be like shooting myself in the foot a wee bit. Yeah, no, and yeah, I think 4832. Okay, right, 4832. Just trying to confuse things there. Okay. Yeah, these two are very similar as well. I mean, we could have either one of these. They're, you know, let's look at the back of them. You know, if I put these two side by side, it's very, very similar. So I think either or. I would go with the Beagle just on the point that there's more colours in that palette. I think that would be sensible too. Even though I really, really like this one. Really, really like it. Okay, we're cutting it down now. 55 can go to, I think, similar to the sky colours. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Let's be ruthless. Okay. Now, what do we do here though? This is the thing. I'm pulling away from 366. I don't think there's enough in it that's going to serve me well. I'm going to chuck out 366 just because I can. Okay. Well, see, 436 I think should stay because it's got green in it. We do not have a palette with green in it, so that's a really good shout. I kind of want to choose between these two as well. 176 and 300, what would be your preference there? I think 300's maybe just a bit too warm and jolly. I think 176 might be better for what we're going to need it for. But it's not to say we can't have a bright snow scene. But I just feel like we're talking about Scotland here. Like, it's grey here all the time, so I think this might be better suited. Okay. So 300, going to stick that out. And then I've got 181. The only reason I'm holding on to this is it's got this very delicate sort of purplish colour. But that's cut us down to like 6 now. Right, ideally I want to cut this in half. So I think these two are definites just because they're very different in its options. So I think we'll definitely keep those two. In terms of these ones, 181 and 460 are quite similar. So what do we think between 181 and 460 if you had to choose? 181 is the cup. Oh, we like the 181. Okay. Yeah, well, I think this sort of very pale lilac-y colour could do us quite well. Again, as MG Peach just pointed out, if we go on to the back, you've got the shade in the tint as well, so you can go into grey or you can make it even paler as well. And you've got this lovely warm apricot colour. So I think that that should maybe stay. We've only got a couple of votes for 460. Yeah, okay. Right. Here's the hardest one now. 176 or 483. I'm only keeping one of these, and that would give me 4 options. That would give me 4 different colour palettes. Vote for 483. He's like, difficult. Oh, another vote for 483. 176, 483, 483, 483. We'll take it if it disappears off the shot. That Daria makes a valid point as well. 483's got more colours in it. Do you have enough terracottas? Yeah, I think so. Right, okay, that'll do. Guys, that is amazing. Now look, if we have a look here, we have 4 very different colour palettes. Now, obviously, if we're going to use something that's very monochromatic like this, I can chuck in the terracotta all I want. Like, it doesn't make a difference. So that will be fine. But when I think what I'm trying to get at here is when you're dealing with people, especially when you're doing a commission, they don't necessarily always know what they want in terms of colour. And I just think it's really nice to be able to offer them something that you know that you can work with and make, like a decent picture. That's 4 very different colour palettes. All of these, obviously I'd have to chuck in some terracotta if I use this one, but confidently I could use any of these and spit out something that's going to make sense and it's still going to look like the village. So yeah, thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate that. So that's the 4 I'm going to stick with. I am going to see the postmistress tomorrow morning. I'm going to show her the different sketches that I've done of the various views in the village so she can decide which one she likes best. And now I've got colour palettes that I can show her as well. So you've actively participated in helping me do my job this evening, which is great because I've done it with beer as well. Jan will explain it to you in the Discord in a wee while. Yes, some clients need a lot of hand-holding, MJ. I'm sure you've come across a few who know exactly what they want. We've all had some of those. The postmistress is such a lovely lady. Like she's so lovely, and she's very, very excited. When I showed her some of the Christmas scenes that I've done in the past, or should I say winter scenes, she was very animated and she was quite excited, which it just made my heart warm. So hopefully we can do something that she really likes. Okay, guys, I am going to cut it off there. As I said, Mr. Jem's hanging off so that he can have some dinner with me. I think he might, his stomach might think his throat's been cut by now. But this has been a really fun stream. Like, I've had a really good time. I hope you guys have had a good time too. It's been a really nice way to spend a Friday evening. And yeah, it's all good. Thank you for your help. Um, in terms of live streams, there will not be a Wednesday live stream next week. I am otherwise engaged, but we'll pick that up the following week. I will have at least 1 video for you next week, if not 2. I might squeak in a second one. I'll see how I'm doing for time. Work's pretty busy in my proper job just now. I've got a lot of people to speak to there, so we'll see how it goes. But as always, I'll keep you posted. We've got other hands. Other hands. Is this bye bye other hands? Yeah. Okay. Night night, Black Rose. Hope you're happy. I hope you get good sleep as well. Can we have the other hands for Thea for being our mod for this evening? She's done a fine job. Bailey, thanks for joining us. I saw you like creeping in, but I just didn't catch up with what was going on. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. Oh yeah, all the other hands. Yeah. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your Friday, please, and I'll see you really soon back here in the cave. Take it easy, everyone.